All right, let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the greatest show. I'm your host, Dusty Smith, and as always, have an amazing program for you tonight. Thanks for joining me. How's the audio sound? Sounds loud to me, but somebody said it needed to be louder on the last show, so try to make those small adjustments here and there to perfect my craft. So you guys let me know. How you doing, dirty, sexy pores? I missed you. Did you guys have a good weekend? As always, there's 10 cats in the background, which is why this is the greatest show in the history of mankind. Super cool, super cool. Anyway, got a huge, big, tremendous show for you guys tonight. Going to cover a big religious bullshit. Gonna do some Chud watch. Got a new section about Herschel Walker. Finish it up with a few heroes and some slow news week. But we gotta go ahead and kick it off and get this shit started. We're never gonna finish. So everybody, open your hymnals to page 1. It's time for some religious bullshit. Religious bullshit, religious bullshit, religious motherfucking shit. It's time for religious bullshit. Everybody, now it's time for religious bullshit. Hell yeah, it is. And first off, tonight's a religious bullshit, folks. Tim Allen, you know, the Tool Time man. He done proved God. I know, it seems impossible. How can you prove God without any evidence? But he figured it out, motherfuckers. Tim Allen is the GOAT. Let's have a listen to his fucking genius level response to this. Let me skip past this guy explaining and get right to Tim Allen's proof of God. Here we go.
My older daughter's atheist, and I said, well, philosophically, it's an irony there, too, because atheists don't believe in God. Well, there has to be a God for you not to believe in.
Nailed it! There has to be a God for you not to believe in. You know, like Santa Claus, which, didn't you play Santa Claus? But hey, there has to be a Santa Claus for you not to believe in it. Unicorns, fairies, gremlins. How can they not be real if we don't believe in them? Checkmate, atheist. He got us. I understand now why they pay this motherfucker the big bucks, Tim Allen. Super genius. Way to go, conservatives. And then, hard to believe people like this are real, but is it really? Not too much. So you guys know there's a new movie that just came out called Hocus Pocus 2. Apparently the whole Hocus Pocus movie back in the 90s was real fucking popular. Bette Midler's still alive, and she's like, fuck yeah, I want to do another movie. So they did it, yo. They made another Hocus Pocus movies for kids, and you guys might think it's all in good family fun, but nah, dog. Evil. It's evil as fuck. Demons gonna come out of your goddamn TV and eat your children. You don't believe me? Let's listen to this woman.
A worst case scenario is that you unleash hell on your kids and in your home.
Jamie Gooch is a mother of 3 and the owner of Gooch Family Farms in Troy.
I love everything to do with house and home. I believe everything starts here.
This time of year, fall harvest is heavily celebrated in their household, but Halloween is not.
Also, if you're wondering, a gooch is also known as a taint. It's the area between the balls and the anus. The gooch, so perfect name.
It grieves me, the thought of exposing our kids
Does it grieve your gooch?
to darkness.
Gooch says there's a spiritual war being waged against homes in America, and Hollywood is part of the problem. And right now, one film in particular.
The whole movie is based on witches harvesting children for blood sacrifices.
In a recent Facebook post,
I was a little bit scared when I hit post because I was afraid of the reaction that I would get.
Gooch advises moms against letting their kids watch Hocus Pocus 2.
I believe whatever comes in our TV screens, there are things attached to that.
They're not.
I've seen for myself the things that I've watched with my eyes or heard over a TV screen, they become manifested in real life. Everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but But they could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen into your home.
We have to steal their souls.
She says most of the feedback has been positive, but she knows her opinion isn't for everyone, and that's okay. She says it's healthy to stir up conversations, just not cauldrons.
How do you feel? How do you respond to people who are going to say, you're crazy? It's just a movie. It's all in good fun.
It has been and always has been. Then the post was not for you. The post was for people that have been on the fence on the decisions they need to make for their family.
While Gooch's opinion may not be the most fun, she says if putting it out there changes even one person's mind, it was worth it.
I think
I love her ripped jeans too. Her cool ass mom jeans. Look how hip she is. Totally awesome.
It was worth it.
I think at the end of the day, I want people to walk away with discernment. If you're watching this, just start thinking. Start thinking for yourself,
like
and even overthink, and consider all the options of what you're partaking in.
In Troy, Rissa Shaw, News 10.
She's overthinking, folks. You know what her problem is? She's too smart. She's just too much of a genius. You guys just aren't thinking enough about this children's movie. It's going to come into your living room and abduct your children or something. I don't know, folks. Just believe her. She looks like she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And they're always trying to ruin Halloween, folks. But at least we got some good parody videos out of it. Here is Blair Erskine, who does amazing parody videos of all these crazy Christian moonbats. Let's have a look at her video.
Hey, y'all. This is a message for all my moms out there, all my mama bears. I'm going to try not to get emotional. On Tuesday, I was in the kitchen frying up some cheese for dinner, and I left my kids in the living room, my 8-year-old Rebecca and my 4-year-old Vanilla Bellini, and they're watching TV. I'm frying up the cheese. All of a sudden, I hear them screaming, Mama, Mama, there's a witch in the house. There's a witch in the house. And if you're a mama bear like me, you know that's your worst fear. Like those 6 words, there's a witch in the house, there's nothing scarier than that. And so I grabbed my frying pan, I ran into the living room as fast as I could. Sure enough, there's a witch on my TV talking about blending up my kids, turning them upside down, eating them with a spoon like they're a Dairy Queen. Okay? And it was really scary. And I don't know how this got on my TV because we only let them watch family-friendly movies like the videos of them being born or Ratatouille without the sex scenes. When I left them in there, they were watching Old Yeller. So I guess the devil found my channel changer. I don't know. And I know people are going to be like, it's just a movie. It's not real. Y'all believe what you want to believe. But in this house, we believe that if something comes on the TV, it can come on you. I have seen it happen. And I don't want Bette Midler coming on me or my family.
I don't know. I might want Bette Midler to come on me. She getting to that grandma age. Hot. Just saying. Maybe I'll check out that movie. I never watched the first one, but maybe I can get involved in a little hocus pocus too. Know what I'm saying? And folks, forgot to mention it, but get your super chats in. I read every single one of them at halftime, so immortalize yourself forever and ever. It's a great way to support the show, so do it, please. The more you donate, the more serious I'll take your questions. So buy my love in the super chats. And next up, on religious bullshit, former Ohio State Legislature Candace Keller wants you to know there's only 2 parties in this country. Let's see who she thinks they are.
There will always be mockers.
Uh-huh.
And I stand before you as a person
That needs to be mocked.
I don't really like to call it persecution because it doesn't mean anything to me.
I don't want to claim I'm being persecuted, but I'm being persecuted. Christians, we are the most oppressed class in the world.
Nobody likes to be made fun of, and nobody likes to be talked bad about.
Why do you make it so easy?
But right now, there are 2 parties in this country.
Which ones?
The party of Trump.
Okay, agreed.
And the other party is called We Hate God.
Oh my fucking God. So yeah, there you have it, folks. They are the God Party, although nothing they stand for is very godly or, good for our society. But the Republican Party doesn't exist anymore. It's now the Trump Party. And the rest of us, anybody who's against Trump or doesn't want to be a part of that, we hate God. And, maybe she's onto something. I do not like God very much. Not the made up God, because that doesn't really exist. But like your version of God, the whole kill all the babies and animals and women and men, everybody with the flood and shit. Not the best, to be honest with you. That guy sounds like a dick. But anyway, then Kellyanne Conway, she all mad. Because, You can't even have a school shooting these days with a bunch of kids being murdered without somebody making fun of you for saying thoughts and prayers. I mean, yeah, our prayers don't seem to be working, or nothing feels like prayer. We say the same thing over and over again instead of taking action, and it seems like it should be mocked, but no, it's persecution that you make fun of us for saying the same bullshit that doesn't work over and over again. Let's have a listen.
Hispanics are realigning. Obviously, economic upward mobility. Obviously, they're education voters. They believe in home ownership. But they're also very religious. And they see a Democratic Party that's openly hostile to religion most days. They can't even give you thoughts and prayers when there's a tragedy. It's only thoughts now. And
yeah, who's stopping you from getting thoughts and prayers? You just want to make fun of because you know it's fucking stupid. And so you're going to blame us for mocking your stupidity. Hey, be less stupid. And also, like, Joe Biden is a hardcore fucking Catholic, right? I can't get much more Christian than Joe Biden is, especially compared to Trump. Like, good God, these people are about nothing. Their words are meaningless. And Christian hate preacher, and once again, is there any other kinds? This time it's Bruce Majaya. And super cool, apparently he got served live during his sermon. He being sued by somebody. I don't know who the fuck sued him. Probably somebody he's lying about up at the pulpit. But anyway, he gets served, and then of course they act like Christians. They show the love of Christ by threatening the guy and demanding he leave, and then they explain how they can just get out of the whole thing by being slimy as fuck.
And that is pretty much it. If you have an additional prayer request that you'd like to be mentioned, no, you need to. You serve, sir. Thank you. All right, whatever. Get out. Get out. Don't run. You need to get out. You need to get out. We don't. Out! Out! Then get out!
He seems angry.
Yeah, ushers had one job. We're trying to hope. We're hoping that he would just, that he would like, we would like hold him off until the end of the service. You guys had one job. That fatty shirt should have never made it all the way through to the pulpit.
Gay slur, super cool.
Well, the cat's out of the bag.
That's greasy hair.
I'm being sued, okay? I'm being sued for my sermons that I preach, but whatever.
Whatever.
What's the guy's name? Did we get his name? Well, yeah. I know he's one of them, but what is his actual name? Mike? Snow White. Anyways, who cares if you have this turquoise guy with the shirt coming to serve me on my pulpit? It's my responsibility to preach the word of God, period, right? Well, what if they sue you? Well, too late, you know? Like, well, are you ever going to preach like that again? Yes, I am. And, you know, serving me papers, those papers have nothing on these papers, amen?
Amen.
And so, you know, you can send me a stack of papers threatening to remove all my resources and shut me down. And you say, well, what if they shut down this church? Then this is what we'll do. We'll change the church name. Like, are they really just going to come here and just tell everyone they can't come to this church? It's like, we're going to shut down that church. That would mean you would have to get everyone in here to no longer come to this church. But you know how easy it is for me to just be like, well, I'll just switch the church name. First Works is a cool name, but I can come up with a cooler name.
That's right. I'll just rebrand the church, but they'll just sue you directly. I'm guessing it's civil. They're not trying to shut down your fucking church, dude. They're just trying to make you pay a fine for slandering somebody. That's how that fucking works. But always gotta play the fucking victim and be slimy, which matches his fucking slimy ass hair. Just grow old gracefully, dude. You don't have to dye your hair and your beard jet black, okay? You're not fooling nobody. And I'm going to talk, and then once again, Christian hate preacher Jonathan Shelley, and I love it when they fight, folks. The right are eating each other. This motherfucker hates Greg Locke and good.
And don't just think like, oh, well, you know, I know Greg Locke just divorced his wife and married the secretary, but let's just follow that church still. No. Stop following Greg Locke. The guy's an idiot and a moron and a fool, and I don't even care if he's saved or not. He's not a biblical pastor anymore. Okay, and you know what? He's not going to get away with that sin.
I mean, he will, because sin doesn't exist and there's no God or anything, but I didn't even know this, folks. Did you know that Greg Locke divorced his wife and then married the secretary? Apparently this is true. Here he is with the secretary he married. Yeah, there's the family values, people. They did a documentary about him not too long ago, and he admitted that his dad was basically a criminal, a thief, a con man. And of course, he carried along the family business. When you're a preacher, like, you don't have to go to school for that. You don't have to be trained or educated or knowledgeable. All you have to do is be good at talking and be brave enough to stand up in front of a crowd and just bullshit, lie, misinform. And he's good at it. I'll give him that. He can definitely sling some shit with incredible confidence. So he's successful at it. And apparently the secretary liked it. I like the cut of your jib. Sorry, wife. The family values, folks, just like Herschel Walker, ain't never about shit. They ain't got no shame. God bless them. And sad day today, folks. Teardrop emoji. No silly Ray Cyrus. But we have the next best thing. It's silly Ray Cyrus's daughter. And the crazy ass acorn didn't fall far from the tree. She just as nutty as a squirrel shit, just like her daddy. This time, she's talking about Halloween decorations. And you know how when you walk by the Halloween aisle, they have a motion sensor in some of the Halloween props. And they're like, or like, they make noises and shit. And their eyes light up. But do you know that sometimes it's actual demons making that happen? I mean, of course you didn't. That's not true. But that's not going to stop her. Let's have a listen.
And get out of Halloween. Bless God Almighty, how many times do we have to tell the Christian people, stop it, just stop. You know, I walked into a hardware store the other day. You know, you done made me rip my glasses off, I'll tell you what. So they had all the Halloween decorations on one side of the store. And I'm telling you, you walk past those things and they start growling. Half the time, that ain't robotic. I'm going to let you figure that one out.
I can figure. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're claiming they're demon-possessed or something, but they are robotic. It's just motion sensors. They have batteries and shit. Once you can find me some videotape of this happening with one of those props that don't have any kind of batteries or electronics that's not supposed to growl at you, please send that my way, because that would be very interesting. What's that? You don't have any? It doesn't exist? Yeah, that's a shocker. Silly Ray Cyrus daughter.
And you walk past, they start growling, and they start doing all these different things, and you hear that stupid laugh. But then on the other side, there were beautiful twinkling red and green lights.
Already?
There were snowflakes.
I see
there
a
were
snowflake.
all these different things. But yet, well, I'm not into the scary stuff. I'm into the good, you know.
It's a fun holiday for children that love it. They get candy and they go out with their friends, and it's super cool. Why would you want to ruin that? Oh, because you're a Christian? Yeah.
I love when my daughter dresses up as a princess. I want her to be involved in with all the other kids and everything like that. Let me tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
This is a plush devil, as me and my sister calls them. You want to know what a plush devil is?
Not really.
It's a sweet-looking little teddy bear with a knife in his hand.
What?
With a smile on his face as he stabs you and kills you.
Chucky teddy bear? You know, that's not real, right? I guess she does, but the people following her probably don't. They believe anything. So, sucker. One's born every minute. And then, folks, apparently the Young Turks have a crew that goes out and interviews Trump supporters now. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like what Walter Masterson's and the Good Liars do. Move along, cat. Move along. Yeah, move along. Don't do that. So, gonna have 2 videos of these same people, one later in the Beyond Parody section. But first off, here they are talking about Christianity and how this is a Christian nation. And before I play this, yes, we are doomed.
Do you think this should be a Christian country?
Oh, I do. I do.
Shocker.
We were founded on God.
We weren't.
And Democrats are taking them away.
We're not.
Taking them out of the school.
How about reconciling separation of church and state, which we were founded on?
I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I don't like the Constitution. I think the Founding Fathers were full of shit. Although I pretend to worship them like they were 100% channeling God's word. But then out of the second half of my face, I say something completely opposite, because that's the way my brain works.
Do not think that's right. They should have never did that. Why would you take something as beautiful as America that we founded God on.
No.
We
wrong.
founded America on God.
No, wrong.
Why would you try to destroy that and take it out of the schools and try to teach our children something
that's what I mean about separation of church and state.
It shouldn't be, though. God should be, we should be able to say in Jesus' name, you know, and I don't care what religion you are.
You do care very
because
much.
If we unite and come together as all in one.
Yeah, as long as we reunite, come all together as one under Christianity, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you're Muslim, as long as you worship Jesus like I do. Yeah, well, you would no longer be another religion then, wouldn't you?
Find the true God.
You know, let's say I'm a Jewish dad and I send my Jewish daughter to school and she's made to pray to somebody else's God. Do you see that as constitutional?
If I was the father and I didn't want her to pray to somebody else's God, I would take her out of that school.
But what if it's a public school?
I would take her out of the public school.
And then what are his options?
Homeschool.
So if you don't believe in Jesus, homeschooling is probably better?
It's better. Why don't people believe in Jesus?
Oh, because it's bullshit. Ancient fairy tales written by primitive idiots. But we have the right not to. The freedom of religion. But no, if you don't believe in Jesus, just take your kids out of school. You don't belong there. No, hey, fuck you. If you don't want separation of church and state, if you don't want an inclusive education experience for everybody, then you homeschool your children, you fucking moron.
Come to this country, accept our beliefs, accept what we are, accept who we are, or don't come. And that's not to be mean, it's just to say, don't come here and try to change our country to your beliefs. That's what I see them trying to do. You're trying to force something down our throat that we don't want. We'll welcome you here. We'll welcome you with open arms. Come here and embrace America. But don't try to make America the Middle East.
Yeah, we'd hate for you to force something down our throats as we have a church every 5 goddamn feet in this country, continuously preaching to you everywhere you go. Can't escape it, but don't shove anything down my throat.
It's a dead issue to me. I don't like that. I don't approve of that.
In what way do you mean America and the Middle East? Because
they want to embrace Islam and make that more mainstream.
Who?
They have a right, like I said, they have a right
Muslims?
to their language. Anybody. It's not just Islamic. It's any religion. If you want to come here and practice it, you have that right. There's mosques. There's different things.
But you just said don't come here.
But don't try to say that the country that was founded on Judeo-Christian beliefs can't believe those beliefs. And
see, he can't even keep his story straight in the same fucking speech he gives. He just said don't come here, and then he's like, you have the right to come here and believe it, but don't come here. What the fuck? Make up your mind, boomer.
Is anybody saying that, though, from what you're hearing?
Anybody saying that?
Yeah.
No, but they certainly taken religion and put in the back seat to it. It's in the back seat.
There's talk about making this a Christian nation and people wanting this to be a Christian nation. How do you feel about that?
I feel very, very strongly about it. I mean, I know we are a country of freedom here, but I am very, very strong and for this becoming a Christian nation.
Separation of church and state, a foundation of the United States, and you know that we have people here who are Muslim and Jewish and Catholic and Buddhist and atheist. What do we do about that if we're one nation?
Well, I don't support those religions. I do believe in my heart that Christianity is the true religion, but we do have freedom in this country that even includes to worship whoever we're going to worship. I don't agree with those other false religions, but hey, this is a free country and people can do whatever they choose to do with that.
And you like that freedom nonetheless?
Well, yes and no, because being a Christian, I don't support false gods or anything like that. But one thing I do support is America's freedom in just about every other way.
I support it every other way, but I don't support your false religions. But I do support freedom of speech, but just not for your religion. Where happened to your chin, dude? God damn it, the master race is so disappointed. Oh, god damn, we should have more abortions in this country. And then Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson is back, folks, and he's asking a very serious question that we should all take this serious, as a serious man he is. No, I'm asking, how is slavery bad? blank, 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 blank. To which the Doob Slayer, there's no reason to argue with Jesse Lee. There's no reason to even engage him. He's not arguing in good faith. But anyway, the fuck do you want me to say? Slavery is bad because it's bad to force people to work for nothing while forcing them to stay in that situation. Why is this the hill you're dying on? To which Jesse Lee says, the slaves were paid. They were fed and housed. They were given Christianity. Many bought to their freedom and became harsh masters themselves. Their descendants live in the greatest nation on this side of heaven. There's a right, orderly way to do things. Now, look, we all know that Jesse Lee doesn't believe a word out of his mouth. It's like all these Christians, all these chuds do. They just want attention. They're just little edgy boys. Even though he's in his 70s, he still makes money off being the most giant piece of shit he can possibly be. Saying the craziest, dumbest, most controversial things he can think of, because that's what gets rewarded when you're a conservative. Just like Kanye, we're going to cover. Kanye wearing his White Lives Matter shirt. Kanye is just the rapper version of Jesse Lee Peterson. It's just, you know, we're so edgy. We're so edgy. That's all it fucking is. It's goddamn pathetic, but typical conservative Christian bullshit. Trash and cringe. And then one more, folks, and this should be in the what the fuck section, but it's not. So you guys know how I constantly cover youth pastors raping the people they're in charge of. You know, they get these little teenage girls in there, and they have little authority over them, and their parents just give them carte blanche to be with their kids as much as they want to. You know, the same people that continuously claim they're scared of drag queens and groomers and shit. Just give their children to these fuckos. Well, this guy, this youth pastor, handed out stickers to his youth group that says, I love hot youth pastors. So, we're going to cover how disturbing this is first. But let's just talk about how cringe this is. How sad and pathetic for you to be handing out stickers drawing attention to how hot you think you are. Like, good God, how insecure and ridiculous are you? But then also, what the fuck? Why would you be handing this out to the youth group you're in charge of? I have questions like him it does. Is it supposed to be a joke? What is the joke? Who made the stickers? Why would anybody order these stickers? Who thought it'd be hilarious to give these stickers to children? Why are conservatives complaining about gay teachers when this is going on in their own church? I can answer that last one, because they don't actually give a shit about any of this. They don't care. All they care about is virtue signaling, that they're against pedophilia, because it's a political cudgel they can whack the left on the head with, but they don't actually give a shit about any of that, because they continuously take their kids to the number one place they're most likely to get molested. Never boycott, never say a fucking word about it. They are full of shit. Glad to answer your question there, Hermit Meta. Super cool. And all right, that's my religious bullshit. Let's see what the dirty, sexy pores have to say. I'm half a teacher. Yeah, a little, what is that? Van Halen, right? Yeah, old school. They love all that stuff. Yeah, like we're about to play Matt Walsh. Super Christian Matt Walsh later on, talking about how we should be impregnating 16-year-olds because they're at the peak fertility rate at 16. Why are we not letting 16-year-olds get married and have babies? Spit them out. That's the biblical way. Hey, miss you, Victoria Cunningham. Get a seat tonight. Thank you for joining me. And witches too, because those exist and are super scary. Folks, be sure to get your super chats. Gonna read all the super chats. We got a Herschel Walker section coming up, a little trash world, but then all the super chats are gonna be read. So support the show, get in your super chats, hit the like button, do all of the things, fuckos. But first up, gotta do a little section on a Herschel Walker. I made some AI photos for it. Here's the Herschel Walker paying out all the baby's mamas to get abortions that he's had sex with behind his wife's back, and I wrote a song to it. It's Herschel Walker, king of paying for abortions, and he is. He's really good at paying for the abortions. Here he is, folks. Herschel, giving all the women's all the money. Get rid of them babies. I ain't in a good time for me, folks. I don't need no babies right now. It don't look good. We not married. I want to have unprotected sex out of wedlock, but I don't want to have no babies. So here, take all my money, women's. take it all and abort them babies. But before we get there, folks, Herschel Walker running one of the strangest campaigns in history, and that's saying something for conservatives because they're just a weird lot. Here he is bragging about how he used to have a mental illness, and you might think, hey, well, did he get on medication? Did he go to a psychiatrist, to a hospital, to a doctor? Did he get professional help? Nah, dog. He was just magically made better by the God that doesn't exist. So let's put him in Congress. Stat, please.
As everyone knows, I had a real battle with mental health.
Had?
Even wrote a book about it. And by the grace of God, I've overcome it. One is a preacher who doesn't tell the truth. He doesn't even believe in redemption. I'm Herschel Walker, saved by grace.
He's saved by grace. He never had to make amends to anybody he harmed, never had to do the right thing, never had to do the work to make himself better. He's just magically saved by grace, because that's how mental illness works. As someone who has a lot of experience with family members who are mentally ill, it could just go away magically without doing anything, apparently. So, straight to Congress for this genius. And here he is, folks, talking about how iPhones are being used to record police brutality, which is bad. And the problem is not the police killing people, folks. The problem is not the police abusing their power, beating people, breaking the law. That's not the problem. You know who's really to blame? Us, society. The cops are God, man. They've never done anything wrong. It's us who should be sorry for how much we've mistreated them, folks.
Now, this is the toughest time to be in law enforcement. We got to support our men and women in blue.
Fuck them.
Because everybody want to go home safe. Everybody want to go home safe. I tell this story about a couple of weeks ago. I was leaving the campaign office.
Okay.
And it was starting to get dark outside, and as I was leaving the office, I saw this police officer had stopped this car. I still remember the car.
Okay.
The car was white with dark windows.
Okay, so you're making this
and
up
all of a
now.
sudden, as that officer was getting out of the car, when we were driving by, my heart started to flirt. I started getting nervous.
Your heart started to flirt? Why was your heart flirting when you saw a cop? I don't know.
Because of all of these iPhones, that all they do is videotape someone getting injured. Never trying to help, never trying to do anything. Well, I started getting nervous because of it.
So let me get this straight. You were just driving by, you saw a cop, and you saw people with iPhones, and your heart started to flirt, and then you got nervous because people were recording cops with iPhones? Good God! How could you people call anybody else snowflakes? You're the most mentally fragile freaks I've ever seen.
And I said, wait a minute, maybe we need to reform the police. And I said, no, why don't we reform the citizen? To show respect to them too. They have a family.
That's right, we need to reform the citizens, because they dared record the God man, and you can't do that. They're above reproach. Don't you think about saying anything bad about the God man. Just the dumbest fucking rhetoric. And then, before we get into the next part of this story, let's take a look back a couple weeks ago about what Herschel Walker said about abortion and whatnot.
Sports, he voted for a woman to kill her baby. He voted for sports. He voted for a woman to kill her baby.
That's right. Evil Warnock voted. He voted for a woman to kill her baby, which is evil. If you dare vote for an abortion, that is pure satanic evil. Oh, this just in. Yeah, Herschel Walker urged a woman to have a second abortion, she said. Yeah, so apparently one of Herschel Walker's baby's mama came out with proof that he paid her for an abortion. And then they finally did have a kid, which he wanted her to abort as well. Also, another neat trick. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is a New York Times article that was paywalled. And if you go to printerfriendly.com, it basically bypasses all the paywalls to all the sites. Pretty cool. Anyway, so 2 abortions. Herschel paid for one, tried to get a second one, because with conservatives, it's always the fucking same. They're not about shit. They're just liars. The worst fucking piece of garbage you can possibly imagine. They have no morals, they have no scruples, they have no integrity. It's always do as I say, not as I do. And Herschel Walker, walking concussion, is no exception whatsoever. So, He was asked about it, folks, and even though it's one of his baby's mamas, he don't know who she is. And yeah, he might have sent her some money, but he sends money to a lot of women, apparently. Oh, really?
What about the $700 check? Is there anybody you can remember sending that much money to?
Well, I send money to a lot of people, and that's what's so funny. And let's go back to my part. You know, I do scholarship for kids. I give money to people all the time because I'm always helping people because I believe in being generous. God has blessed me, and I want to bless others. And I got into this race because I'm a Christian. I love the Lord Jesus Christ.
It shows.
And I always tell everyone that no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
It's prospered.
So whoever been out there want to lie on Herschel Walker, you're lying on the wrong one. It's best that you to go somewhere else because I'm going to win this seat for the great people of Georgia.
You're not.
Because Georgia deserves to have a senator that trusts in the Georgia people and not no one that trusts in Joe Biden like Senator Warnock does.
So word solid gobbledygook, but I send money to all kinds of women. I can't be expected to know all of my baby's mamas. Never met this woman I had sex with and had a baby with. It's a lie. And so they didn't get on the same page though, folks. Here's Dirty Tricks right-wing operative Eric Arison, who's like, I thought we all knew this. Also, old news, and people do change over time. That's right. Did we already know that Herschel Walker had an abortion and paid for it? What's the big deal? Just because he's a hypocrite? And they're like, no, he denied it, dude. Might want to fact check with your people on that. And then Christian Walker, folks. Herschel Walker's son, who I have featured many times on the show, one of the most unlikable people in the history of mankind, and that is saying something. It's almost like he's created this character for himself that's specifically designed to try to be unlikable, and he's now a right-wing influencer. Because if you're going to be the most likable person on earth, you kind of have to be a right-wing influencer. That's the only way you can make money. It's the only niche that you can find. So he just finally had enough, folks. This is the people that Herschel Walker saying is lying about him. It's your own son. And he says, I know my mom and I would really appreciate it if my father Herschel Walker stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us. He did put a gun against his Christian Walker's mother's head and threatened to kill her. And had us move over 6 times in 6 months running from your violence. I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral Christian upright man. You've lived a life destroying other people's lives. How dare you? Every family member of Herschel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past. Every single one. He decided to give us the middle finger and air out all of his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. I'm done. But it turns out he was not done. He had plenty more to say. You have 4 kids that we know of, and you weren't in the house raising one of them. You were out cheating and lying. If you love your kids, you'd be raising them instead of running for a Senate race to boost your ego. And this is at the same time Herschel Walker's entire platform is, all these black men. I can't do the Herschel Walker voice because it's racist. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it because he's black. He's just dumb. Anyway, he's going out there and he's like, all these black men having all these kids out of wedlock. And you can't do that. You got to be a good family man and marry these women and quit running around and having sex and thinking with your dick. But of course, they're hypocrites. That's literally the job description if you're a Republican. Lying gets you in trouble. I mean, lying is what you have to do. Telling the truth gets you in trouble. You have to lie. You have to be a fucking hypocrite. So obviously, he was doing the exact opposite of what he was telling everybody else to do. This is what they always fucking do. And then Christian put out a couple videos because some tweets wasn't enough. And I gotta say, Christian, finally you're doing something that makes you likable. More of this and less of literally everything else you're doing.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Mm-hmm. Do you care about family values?
No, they don't. Not at all.
Silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day one. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I've talked about Father Epps. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me. Because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I am. I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my politics. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done with the lies. We were told at the beginning of this he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that. Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all these different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day.
Yep, he a liar, hypocrite. That's exactly what they want, though, folks. That's all conservative support, and he got some more to say. Go off, King.
Get home and raise your kids! Oh, so he's too busy banging women to take care of his current kids. He can't control his dingling. He's out hooking up with all these women, multiple women pregnant at the same time. What is this, his fifth, sixth baby mama? Get home and raise your kids and take care of the women you're knocking up. Can you control your thing for 3 seconds? I get it. You want to go bang everyone. Can you just stay home and raise your kids? Oh my gosh! Control your thing! Get it!
Sort of funny, to be honest with you, a little bit funny. He's growing on me. Christian Walker growing on me a little bit. I can't believe it. And one more video from Christian Walker explaining why he's not on the campaign trail with his daddy.
And just 2 more things I have to address, and then I'm done with this buffoonery nutjob land. This is atrocious. People on the right are pulling up that I did a campaign event with my dad last year. They're saying, well, you supported him all last year and all this year. You look suspicious. No. You all have been calling me saying, why aren't you on the campaign trail with your dad? Why aren't you helping him out? This looks weird. You should go help him. And I've said to you calmly, I'm not getting involved. You don't know my family life. I did one event last year when we were told he was going to get ahead of his past and hold himself accountable. None of that happened. Everything's been a lie. So for me to tell you I'm not getting involved, and then you also be flooding my DMs and calling me saying, I didn't know all this about your dad, we're going to lose the Senate race. And then when I simply say, I'm done with the lies, you go, well, Christian looks suspicious. Excuse me? I haven't told one story about what I experienced with him. I'm just simply saying, don't lie. And then for certain political pundits to be pulling up old pictures I posted of my dad, thinking they can police and determine what my relationship with my dad.
Anyway, he don't like either daddy. He's a victim, basically, of his father and his neglect. And he's speaking out about it, which is good. So, as you might imagine, folks, the Christians are like, hey, we're going to hold Herschel Walker accountable. We're going to call him out for his Just kidding. Of course they didn't do that. They're shitting on Christian Walker, the victim. But first off, here's some words solid from Herschel Walker about this situation. He's going to declare that his son, who is a very popular right-wing influencer, 100% Trump supporter, conservative, of course, he's going to blame the left for this. He's going to declare the left is out to get him when it's all right-wingers doing it, because this is all they got.
Here's what your son surprised a lot of us because he's had tweeted positive things for you. He's an influencer, a conservative. And this is what he came out and said after this revelation and your appearance with Sean. Listen.
My intention is don't lie about your life at the expense of me, my mom, and all of the people that you've affected throughout your life. You don't get to pretend you're some moral family guy. You don't get to pretend all these things. Talk policy, talk normal, do not lie.
So he saw that and says, you're lying, Herschel. What do you say about your son? Is he telling the truth?
Well, I love my son unconditionally, and that's where I've always been.
Okay.
I always loved him unconditionally. You know, he graduated college a couple of months ago.
Cool.
He's now a young man doing his own thing, but his father's always there for him. I always will be for any of my kids, and I love them. I always support them, and I always have supported them, and I always will, and I love them unconditionally.
But he's doing tremendous damage to you by coming out with those statements. Do you know why he's saying this?
Because it's true.
Well, the damage he's doing is letting people know that the left will do whatever they can to win this seat. And I told you when I got in this race, I'm going to win this seat. People see someone sitting here in front of you right now that's been redeemed. And I want America to know I'm living proof that you can make mistakes and get up and keep going forward, but you can only do it in this country right here. And you can only do it if we get this election correct this come November. Because we vote for the people on the left, like the guy running against Senator Warnock, you're not going to have a chance to be redeemed. He's a minister, and he don't believe in redemption.
It's all he says over and over again. Warnock doesn't believe in redemption. It's like they told him to say this line over and over again, but it's just so stupid. He's literally a preacher, dude. Word salad nonsense. And then Herschel Walker had a press conference. Did not go well. Let's have a look at that one.
Of mothers of your children.
No.
To ask any of the mothers of your children.
No.
To ask why? Why not?
Why'd I need to?
Well, because according to the article, the woman who says that you paid for her to have an abortion is also the mother of one of your children. It seems like that's an easy way to...
Because of the article, I had more kids. That's why I haven't reached out to anyone, because I said no, and that's what I mean. When I said no, I said it's not correct, that's a lie. And that's what I mean, that's a lie.
But if the woman said that, then
yes, let me go to her.
Thank you. You said that if this did happen, there's nothing to be ashamed of. How do you
Wait, I never said
You said that this morning on your
No, what
show.
I said, I was talking about something totally different than what this did happen. I said when I was with my ex-wife in my past, nothing to do with what this woman said.
So you're
I
saying
said this here, the abortion thing is false. It's a lie.
You literally said, even if it did happen, it didn't happen, but if it did happen, then I would be forgiven for it, and it would be no big deal, so I would just admit it. That's literally what you said, too.
And that's what I said. I said, anything happened with my ex-wife or what Christian was talking about, I don't know. But, as I said, if anything happened, there's nothing to be ashamed of, because my ex-wife and I have been the best of friends with her husband and my wife. So that's the thing I've said. And I said nothing about if it did happen, because I said that's a lie. Let me go to somebody else. Let's go here. Let me go over here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Wait, let me go here.
I'll put it to you. What's your, just really quickly, what's your reaction to people so close to you? Your son, a mother of someone who says that she's the mother of your kids, saying that you're lying. What's your reaction to people so close to you, saying don't trust you?
Well, just like what I just said, the Democrats are desperate for this seat. This seat is important. They're very desperate for this seat. I love my family. I always love my family. I'm going to win this race.
You're not.
I know I'm going to win this race.
You don't know that. So, word salad, walking concussion, Herschel Walker, yuck. Conservatives, how do you live with yourselves? You should be embarrassed, but you don't have the ability to feel shame, so I can kind of understand it. But like I said, folks, no one really thought that they were going to actually hold Herschel Walker accountable, because that's not what Christians do. Christianity is the most immoral stance in the fucking world. Because you don't have to actually make amends to anybody you've wronged. You don't actually do the work to make yourself better, do the introspection. Like when I told that racist joke, I spent years working on myself, doing introspection, trying to make amends for it, trying to make things better, because that's what you do when you want to redeem yourself. But when you're a Christian, it's nah, I'm just magically redeemed. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to claim that I worship God. And I don't even have to change my behavior. Because if I continue to fuck up and behave the same way, all I have to say is, well, nobody's perfect. We all sin. So I can just claim that I'm forgiven for everything I've done in the past without having to make amends for anything. And then I can continue the behavior in the future and just claim, hey, everybody's fallen. Everybody's sinful. I'm asking for forgiveness. It's okay. It's just so goddamn immoral in every way. So Obviously, they're not going to hold him accountable. They're outright admitting they don't actually give a shit about what they say, which we already know. We know their words don't mean anything. But I'm about to show you, they're going to outright admit that family values is just a talking point to them. They don't actually believe in it. It doesn't actually mean anything. All they care about is power, taking and maintaining power. And lying and cheating is completely acceptable to do that. And first of all, obviously, they're going to attack Christian Walker. And here's Scammy Davis Jr., one of the people responsible for the January 6th insurrection, Ali Alexander. Repeat after me. Christian Walker knows he's lying about Herschel Walker, and he knows the consequences. First off, no, he's not. I think he was there, not you. And they have all the receipts, so he's using clever copywriting, and sophistry to hide his culpability so he can later ask for money and support from his audience. Well, he would do that. I mean, he is a right-wing grifter, so he doing what the right-wing grifters do. Block him. Do not give him the opportunity. So not looking good for the career of right-wing influencer Christian Walker. And here's Ali Alexander's Telegram feed. Vote Herschel Walker. Christian Walker is literally satanic. And they loved him. They loved him before when he was acting like the worst, most annoying human being in the world. But now he's telling the truth about something, and you can't do that as a conservative. Telling the truth as a conservative is like garlic to a vampire, like sunlight. Just cannot do it. Here's Greg Kelly, right-wing host on Newsmax. Never betray your family. They're so worried about you telling the truth. They're more concerned about betrayal, letting people know what's actually going on, than they are about the fact that Herschel Walker is a lying hypocrite that paid for abortions and is actually a giant piece of trash, the exact type of guy he completely condemns all the time. But Christian Walker has disgraced himself. You will find that this ugly smear in October will not work. It will work. It's working. But yeah, it's not Herschel Walker who paid for abortion and is currently lying about it is the problem. It's telling the truth about it that makes you an awful person to conservatives. And Christian Walker responds, he betrayed the family when he destroyed 4 children's lives, then lied about it and lied again yesterday. How dare you? But like, hey, Christian, this is what you've attached your horse to. This is conservatism. You get punished for lying. It's all for telling the truth. You get rewarded for lying. So you might want to figure that shit out or jump ship real fast. Here's a red lion politics. First off, they're in denial. Here's the different stages of grief. The account must be hacked. No way he said that, right? Talking about Christian Walker's account. Then Christian Walker was probably paid by the Democrats to say this. Yeah, right. We definitely paid him. Not like he's just telling the truth. That can't be a possibility, can it? I can't believe this is happening. Christian Walker betrayed his father. What a disgrace. Yeah, I mean, his father neglected him his entire life, mistreated all the family members in his life. But it's Christian Walker who's the asshole here, isn't it? Conservative Christians. And here's conservatives posting their W's. He's like, could you have waited just one more month to fucking say this? That's right. Couldn't you have waited till this giant hypocritical piece of shit was in the highest political body in America before you said this? Couldn't you waited till he was entrenched in power and never to be removed before you told the truth about him? Why are you telling the truth? This is who they are, folks. And please stop, Christian. The country needs him. We need this lying, hypocritical piece of shit. What's wrong with you? We're so desperate for this kind of leadership. Fucking cats, dude. The one bad thing about the cats everywhere. They're continuously knocking every fucking thing that got them around. Just a little bit, right? And then, yeah. Why couldn't you deal with family matters offline? Yeah, he made them public, motherfucker. He is a public figure putting all this shit out there. Why don't you say the same thing to Herschel Walker? Because you don't care. And, of course, the Christians surrounded him. No accountability for Christianity. No self-reflection. You don't have to make amends. Just everybody's lying. We're the victims.
Amen. This is the fight of his life, holy God.
Amen.
And we call forth your ministering angels to be his defenders. And we ask you to rebuke the devil.
Amen.
Rebuke the devil. That's one way to talk about your son, Herschel Walker. So Christianity doing what they do. They ain't got no shame. They don't give a fuck. And Dinesh D'Souza always has the worst to take. Here's convicted felon Dinesh D'Souza, who was pardoned by Trump. Says, if Raphael Warnock did exactly what Herschel Walker did, the left would brush it off and even more audacious, accuse the publications that reported him of racism. The other side relies on us to freak out over the human failings of our candidate. We shouldn't fall into the trap. Yeah, who cares if our candidate is a hypocrite and is exactly the opposite of everything he claims to be and chastises everybody else for being. Let's just ignore it. The Democrats would just ignore it, but this is obviously fucking bullshit. The Republicans decide where they're never held accountable for anything. The left actually holds people accountable. Anybody remember Al Franken? Literally resigned for this picture alone. Lived his entire life as an outstanding man. A really good guy. Took a picture with this woman. She was in on it. She was pretending to be asleep. Wanted him to take this picture. He stupidly did it. Over this dumb picture, he resigned from the highest political body in the land for nothing more than this fucking picture, okay? We hold our side accountable. That's sort of our bag. But of course, I understand why you guys have to lie about it, because the truth is an anathema to you. And then Gingrich wants you guys to know that, hey, Herschel Walker might have paid for an abortion. Maybe he is a giant fucking hypocrite, but it's only because he has a bunch of concussions and shit. So, you know, let's put him in Congress anyway, because that's exactly what we need in Congress right now, a walking mentally ill concussion.
I talked to Herschel about this morning, and I've known Herschel a good while. I think he's a remarkable person. I think he's the most important Senate candidate in the country because he'll do more to change the Senate just by the sheer presence, by his confidence, by his deep commitment to Christ, by the degree to which he is, you know, he's been through a long, tough period. He had a lot of concussions coming out of football. He suffered PTSD.
Yeah, so let's put him in Congress. Let's let him in charge of everything. He's completely mentally infirmed. He should be in a hospital. He can't think straight. Immediately put that guy in Congress. And then he says this about him. Even though his opponent is literally a preacher, somehow he's not Christian enough.
I talked to Herschel about this morning, and I've known Herschel a good while.
I already played that. All right, fuck that. And then it's a good question, folks. They're claiming he's redeemed. They're claiming it doesn't even matter. Even if it's true, it doesn't fucking matter. Because it happened a long time ago, and all you have to do is say, God forgive me. And then it's like magic. It's like Hocus Pocus 2, except less evil, where God waves his magical wand, and it's like it never happened. Then why is it okay that he's still lying about it? If he's been redeemed, if he's no longer the same person anymore, isn't the fact he's still lying about it prove that he's still a giant lying piece of shit?
That Herschel Walker is a man who, when he gave his life to Jesus Christ years ago, became a sinner saved by grace. He admits he was never a Boy Scout. But when you truly give your life to Jesus Christ, he forgives you of your past. It's washed away, covered under the blood, as they say, despite members of the liberal media who clearly can't grasp that concept.
My cat hates Herschel Walker. Anyway, yeah, can't grasp the concept. You get a do-over. All you have to do is say Jesus, and it's a do-over. You're forgiven of everything. You don't even have to change your ways. You can continue to lie about it forever and ever and ever. And it's totally cool, because they don't give a fuck, folks. They literally do not care about anything. Yes, I said donut. And speaking of donuts, here's Diamond and Silk weighing in on the controversy. Let's see what these two brainiacs have to think about it.
That your best bet is to vote for Herschel Walker. Okay?
That's
Forget
right.
what you done heard. That is distractions.
Right.
That's when President Trump was running. Remember all of the distractions.
I remember all of the
distractions. He said he gonna grab them by this. And we was like, well, I'm so happy he grabbing somebody by the P instead of the D.
By the D.
I mean, look.
Yeah, I don't care if he's a pervert and misogynist, he's accused of rape and sexual assault 12 different times. At least he's not gay. Yep. Priorities from the Brain Trust, Diamond and Silk. And then They're just saying it out loud, folks. This is what I tell you guys constantly. Their words don't mean anything. They're about to admit it. Here's a Dana Loesch. They don't care what kind of man he is. All they want is power.
So does this change anything? I mean, do you want my opinion? You're listening. Not a damn thing. How many times have I said 4 very important words? These 4 words. Winning is a virtue.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm about to say is in no means a contradiction or a compromise of a principle.
You don't have any.
And please keep in mind that I am concerned about one thing and one thing only at this point. So I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want control of the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
If the Daily Beast story is true, you're telling me Walker used his money to reportedly pay some skank for an abortion, and Warnock wants to use all of our monies to pay a whole bunch of skanks for abortions.
Super classy.
And yes, when they're used predominantly over 99% of birth control and it's my taxpayer dollars, you have invited me up in your business and I will use whatever descript I would like to. Thank you.
That was always allowed.
So it doesn't change anything for me. I don't know if he did it or not.
And I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck, folks. The whole family value stuff, it's just a smokescreen. It's just a lie. We don't actually care about it. All we care about is lying to fucking win so we can put our thumb on you. We can control you, make you do whatever the fuck we want to. We can put you under the thumb of our Christian fascism. Whatever it takes. They're just saying the quiet part out loud, not even trying to hide it anymore. But a little bit of good news came out of this, folks. The new poll came out of Georgia. Raphael Warnock, 50%, and Herschel Walker, 38%. You know, it's a fucked up country when I'm cheering for the Reverend. Because Raphael Warnock, not a lot, I mean, he's a lot better, but not great. Anybody who's out there spreading the bullshit of Christianity, probably not a good person in my opinion, but compared to Herschel Walker, an amazing dude. So good, at least something positive may come out of this. I mean, there's still time before the race happens, before it's all over. So who knows what this trash goddamn country will do. But so far, looking good for the Democrats. So thank you, Herschel Walker, for fucking everything goddamn up. But of course, it's the conservatives' fault for putting you in that position. Not sending the best. And all right, that's my Herschel Walker. Well, let's see what you guys have to say. Like you say, Dusty, the cruelty is the point. Yep, they don't care. They just want the power. They want to abuse people. Skanks? You're talking about women, right? Yeah, this is Herschel Walker's baby mama. I guess it's ex-wife. Maybe they were married, I guess. Who cares? She's a skank. Because she had an abortion. That's how conservatives think of women. We see right through them. We do. They're transparent as fuck. But not everybody sees through them, or maybe they do, and they just don't care. I guess probably half and half. Probably half of them believe what they say. The other half don't care. They just want power regardless of what it takes. And it's sad. And all right, folks, halftime coming up into this next section. Get your super chats in. Support the show. Do the thing. Hit the like button. All of it. But now, Trash World. Trash World. Trash World. It's dumpster fire, it's hell, it's the trash world. Trash world. Herschel Walker paying for all of the abortions. Trash world. Little Rocky Horror Picture Show version of Trash World tonight. And first off, like this should be in the, would you hush, kitty cat? I know, I don't need a co-host. I know my singing is beautiful. I know I'm the best singer ever lived. Thank you. You're very honest. I think you're beautiful too, but now it's not the time for you to give your monologue, okay? Can you save it after the show, please? Thank you. And first off, man, this should be in the what the fuck section. This is so terrible, folks. Speaking of Herschel Walker talking about, hey, the problem is us citizens, not the cops. The cops are God, man. They ain't doing nothing fucking wrong. We should respect them more. They're trained to literally think they can murder you if you don't immediately just psychically know, first off, they're God men and you're supposed to instantly obey. If you're even surprised, they open your car door and you're surprised, oh my God, who the fuck's opened my door? What's going on? And you behave in any way other than do whatever you want to, God man, they believe they have the right to murder you. It's the most insane fucking shit. For those of you in other countries, you have no idea what it's like here. Here's a great example. This guy just sitting in his car, eating his McDonald's. A cop sees his car, thinks it's another guy who ran from him the night before, but it wasn't. Opens his door, and the guy's shocked. He doesn't know who's opening his door. He's like, oh my God, my car. His brain can't process it quick enough. And so he just freaks out, and the cop just tries to execute him instantly. Don't watch that. I mean, the guy lived, I guess, so this is not quite a murder. But this shit is crazy as fuck and angering. Warning. So here the cop goes over to the guy sitting in his car. Opens the door and surprises him.
Get out of the car.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Just the craziest fucking shit.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Why do they think they have the right to murder you? And of course the cop lied and he said, the guy hit me with his car. I was in fear of my life. I had no choice. But we just saw the camera. No, he didn't. You opened his door and the guy freaked out, didn't know what the fuck was going on, and tried to drive away, and you decided that gave you a right to murder him. They literally think they have the right to take your life for unobedience, not immediately obeying the God man. And this guy should be in prison for attempted murder, the cop. But they just fired him. That's all they do, folks. And this kid will win a huge lawsuit. He'll be a millionaire if he lives. He's in critical condition. If he lives, he'll be a millionaire, and it's the taxpayers that pay it. So good. I hope the cops bankrupt our goddamn states. If that's what it takes to fucking reform this system, to abolish this ridiculous, evil fucking gang that feeds upon us, good. We should be fucking bankrupt at this point. If you're not angry, you're not alive. That's the only correct response at this point. What the fuck? Throw him under the prison, but they won't because they're the God men and they can do fucking anything. And yep, San Antonio police officer fired after shooting teen in a McDonald's parking lot. Why is he not in prison immediately? Anybody, any one of us would be under the jail for this. But not cops. They can execute you for look at them wrong in this trash fucking country. And speaking of which, I think the entire police force of Uvalde was just disbanded, but they fired one of the police officers, this lady here, because she was basically standing outside. Instead of getting her tactical gear and her rifle, she was standing outside, and she's caught on camera saying, hey, if my son had been in there, I would not have been outside. I promise you that. Yeah, if it was my son being murdered, I would have gotten help. But who gives a fuck about all your kids? We'll just sit idly by and let them all get murdered. But if it was our kids, believe us, we would actually done something. And hey, thank you for your honesty, but also fuck you. God damn it. They should charge them as accessories to murderers at this point. Put them all into the fucking jail, but they won't, unfortunately. And then on the trash road, Elon, and he shall be Elon. He shall be Elon. So Elon, as we all know, is the most genius business person who ever lived. Only person on earth probably better than Donald Trump at business, Elon Musk. And so first he offered to buy Twitter for $44 billion. And then he was like, why the fuck did I offer to buy Twitter for $44 billion? I'm overpaying. That's a lot of money. My Tesla stock is going down and I'm losing money. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So then he tried to back out of the deal. He tried to lie about why he backed out of the deal. Said, oh, they have too many bots, but they released all his text, and he was talking to his chud-ass rich motherfucking billionaire friends, and he was like, World War III might start soon. It don't make no sense for me to buy Twitter. It was all other kinds of excuses, so he tried to back out of it. Spent millions of dollars in lawyers' fees and shit to try to back out of this deal. And so now, after he spent all that money, he's like, okay, well, I'm obviously going to lose the lawsuit because you guys are releasing all my emails and all my text messages, and I don't want you to release anymore, so I'll do it. I'll do it. After wasting millions of dollars trying to fight it, I'm going to go ahead and buy Twitter. So it looks like the deal's back on, folks. Looks like Elon Musk going to be the owner of Twitter before too long, and I still don't give a fuck. It's fine. It's not going to be any different, I don't think. They might bring Trump back. I never gave a shit if Trump was on there or not. It's bad that they can spread misinformation on there, but you know what you're going to do. I don't give a shit about that, so it'll have no effect on me. If he ruins the place, then people are going to bail out of it, and it's just going to be a $44 billion loss. But here he is. When you end up paying sticker price for something you probably spent millions trying to get out of buying. Yes, super genius businessman, Elon Musk. But it just shows you the hype about Elon Musk is all bullshit, right? He got lucky a few times. He may have made a few good business decisions. He may be smart in ways, but he's still just a human fucking being. And of course, he's incredibly self-centered. I almost feel bad for him. Not really because he's such a smug, arrogant asshole, but I've never seen anybody so desperate to be liked more than Elon. He's like a sad little kid. He's literally buying Twitter because he wants to be the big king of Twitter, the meme lord of Twitter. He knows that that's where people go to get their information in this day and age, in little bite-sized bits. And he can be the big dick daddy of Twitter, and he just loves that idea of everybody sucking his nuts all day long. It's just sad. But if you think Elon in any way actually cares about free speech, you're so full of shit. Oh yeah, and they're acting like this is some kind of genius business move. Elon Musk sycophants, his cult, they're so weird. Yeah, Elon promised to buy Twitter for $45 million, then backed out of it and spent millions of dollars, and now is paying full price for it again. What a genius business decision. He's like the Michael Scott of the business world. And they're like, here's Jeremy Prime. Elon Musk reportedly moving forward with his purchase of Twitter. Haha, fuck your feelings, losers. Freedom always wins. First off, the thought that Elon gives a shit about freedom of speech is hilarious. But secondly, nobody really gives a fuck. Whatever. It's just another rich asshole owning it. Who cares? And he went public to knock Donald Trump's True Social. Said it's basically a right-wing circle jerk over there. And he's right, it is. That's all it is. It's just a echo chamber. Says he's going to bring Trump back if Trump wants to come back. But this is definitely going to be bad news for True Social. Not like they needed any more bad news over at True Social. Another Donald Trump business failing. Who could have possibly seen that company? Oh, everybody? Everybody in the world saw that coming? But he's like, I'm not doing Twitter for money. It's not like I'm trying to buy some yacht I can't afford, Musk, a billionaire, said. I don't own any boats, but I think it's important that people have maximally trusted and inclusive means of exchanging ideas, that it should be as trusted and transparent as possible. He's literally got people from Saudi Arabia giving him money to buy Twitter. If you think for one fucking minute this is not about money, this is about free speech, there's no helping you. You're just too fucking stupid. Rich people do not buy up the means of disseminating information for freedom of speech. It's like claiming that Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post because he really cares about freedom of the press. No, they buy it up so they can control the flow of information, obviously. And if you believe Saudi Arabia, who's funding a lot of this purchase, cares about your freedom of speech in America, I can't even talk to you. There's nothing going on in your head, so it would be pointless to even fucking try. And speaking of Elon, he's so embarrassing. God damn it. This is your genius? This is your thought leader? So he's having an argument, I guess, with Garry Kasparov. Garry Kasparov is probably the most famous chess player of all time, and he's spent his life protesting against Vladimir Putin. He's put both his life, his reputation, his livelihood, everything on the line to protest Vladimir Putin for decades and decades. It's been one of his main focuses to try to overthrow this ruthless, evil dictator of Vladimir Putin. Yet Elon Musk is going to try to shit on him. Elon says, we gave Starlinks to Ukraine and lost 80 million in doing so, while putting SpaceX and myself at serious risk of Russian cyber attack. What have you done besides tweet? Yeah, what have you done? Garry Kasparov, who has a Wikipedia entry longer than Elon Musk that documents everything you fucking done, all the sacrifice you've put in place to fight Putin, what have you done besides tweet? Goddamn, Elon Musk is so stupid. First off, the United States paid for the Starlinks. Now, you might have came up with some kind of price tag that you think you gave them a discount on it for, that you just made up out of whole cloth. But it's bullshit to claim you just free and clear gave the Starlinks to Ukraine. You didn't. You sold them, you got paid for it, you got paid a fair price for it. But to claim that somehow you, who does nothing but fucking tweet all day, are doing more than Gary Kasparov to combat Putin. Holy goddamn shit. I know Elon Musk doesn't know who the fuck he's talking to, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, is too lazy to do any kind of basic goddamn research before he goes public and makes a fool of himself. But holy shit, dude. Maybe take a break from being online for a little while. Tesla stock just dropped another 6% today. It's down 40% this year so far. Maybe take a step back, you fucking moron. Good God. Trash human. And speaking of the war in Ukraine, folks, it doesn't seem to be going very well for Russia. Ukraine is making incredible gains, taking back a lot of the territory they've lost. And Russia has conscripted, drafted, you might want to call it, a lot of people that don't want to go to war, they don't want to die in Putin's war. And some of them released a video, I guess they still have their cell phones, showing the horrible conditions, the lack of training, the fact that they haven't been giving any direction, any leadership, or any weapons. And they recorded the whole thing. Here's a video of it. It says, so we are now in Belgorod region. We are around 500 people with weapons, but we haven't been assigned any division. For a week, we lived like animals. No material support, no financial allowance. Absolutely nothing. And we don't know who should go where, to which division each one is assigned. We got weapons, but the weapons have not been officially assigned to us. Not a single rifle has been registered in our military passport. Article 2222 of the Criminal Code of the Russian Federation, illegal transfer. Officers treat us like animals. Nobody needs us. We received zero training. We eat what we buy ourselves. We spent incredible amount of money just to eat. Not to mention the money spent on ammunition. Just buy your own body armor. We got live ammo not issued. We just found some ammo outdoors near the military unit. Not happy, these guys. They are pissed, and a lot of them apparently are very mentally ill. They're very sick. They have no fucking direction. They're just literally going to send them over to be murdered for nothing because Putin is in his mansion beating off in a mirror, thinking about how powerful he is. Now he can just send people off to his fucking death, and you guys over there in Russia are just going to let him do it. It's just so sad. People will lose their life and give up everything for this. Here's one of the top Russian propaganda disseminators on the air in Russia. This is the kind of shit they're teaching them. They're telling them this is why they're fighting the war. According to them, in America, breast milk is prohibited there. My children wouldn't be allowed to call me mom. And if they call me mom, they would be taken away. It's really happening. It's not some kind of propaganda. Isn't that really happening over here? Aren't you no longer allowed to call mothers mom? Aren't you no longer allowed to have breast milk? Won't they take your kids away for that? But they're literally feeding this to them all day. This is why we have to fight to the death. This is why you have to go and die, because they're going to make Russia like this. They're going to take away our children and ban breast milk and ban the use of the word mom. So go out there and die for nothing. It's just so sad how easy it is to convince people to give their lives for nothing. And then one more on my trash world. This is not really a trash world, but since we're talking about the Ukrainian war, this guy needs to go play the fucking lottery. He's showing how beneficial having a cell phone on you can be. He's like, look at this shit. Yeah. Caught a bullet for him. I guess that's a cell phone. Lucky motherfucker. That could have been in your guts. Buy some lottery tickets tomorrow, dude. But also good luck out there because war is hell. And that is my trash world. What you got to say? I don't get breast milk. Bummer. I went out with a married one time and she, never mind. I shouldn't tell you that. This type of shit always fails. Yep. Literally just sending them to death for no reason. They should attack Putin instead. They should, but they won't. They're too propagandized. They have too much to lose, I guess, in their own country. They're too scared. And all right, time to read the super chats, folks. Hell yeah. And if you bail out, be sure to stick around because 5 minutes from now, there's going to be a long Chud watch. 5 minutes. So, Paul Archer, $20, celebrating my birthday by watching the greatest goddamn show in the history of humanity. Hell, you're doing it right. Happy birthday to you, Paul. You're rocking it today. James Hodge, £5. Conservatives have always hated Hollywood since the very beginning, but they love celebrities once celebrities kiss their ass. Like they love Kanye now. They hate rap music, but one rapper says something they agree with, and suddenly he's the best guy ever. Dusty is Lord. I know, right? I am Lord. Praise the Lord. Jay Zaprom. Thank you for becoming a Dust Buddy. You guys can become a Dust Buddy for $2.99 a month and get customized emojis to spend the chat with, which is also a great way to support the show. There's a link down by the chat, and you should do that. That would be cool. We cash because of Dank Brandon. Yep. Brandon actually doing a good job. I can't believe Joe Biden proving me wrong, being a good president, but I love it. One thing I can be proved wrong about, that's a good thing to be proved wrong about. Love the show. Hey, I love you, Amararo. Thank you for $20. You're very generous. And I might add, sexy. Seth LeBron, $5. Dusty, you should watch Weird History Food on Beer. It explains a possible origin of the witch panics. It's WSS to take over control of beer making. Oh, was to take over. Okay. Well, Satanic Panic is always about controlling people, you know. It's conservatives trying to freak people out, scaremonger in order to get votes. Danny Nerd, 99 Dusty, GLP forgets what words slurred from his facial stoma by the time it offends the people hearing it. Don't feel bad. Yeah, he definitely a shameless grifter will say anything to get those white supremacist bucks. Polly Pocket, $5. My cousin got so sick of living in the U.S. that he just moved to Cambodia. I mean, I like the U.S. I want to stick around for a while, but they'll need some improvement. Peter Cali, £5. Claudia Marie is my music. Finish the song and prove you haven't been lying. I don't know what you're talking about. What song? Claudia Marie, it's my birthday. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, dude. I don't know that song, so I guess I have been lying. Victoria Cunningham, sending love for the Dust Buddies. What's up, Victoria? Good to see you tonight. You're amazing. Darian Mezzo, Orel, Dusty. Vamos a Memphis Loco. Hell yeah, beans and disease to you too, as Red Fox used to say. Polly Pockets, $5. Herschel didn't have to lie. He should have said, that's before I was a Christian. Yeah, man, that's all he had to say. Yeah, I've been redeemed by grace. Yeah, I did that, of course. He's a liar. It's all bullshit. So he doesn't want to have to admit that he got an abortion because he's gone out and spoken so heavily against it, and he's too afraid to make him look too much like a hypocrite, which it will. But like, it doesn't matter. They don't care what you do. It's not about anything. So just tell the truth. I live in Georgia and will vote for Warnock again. We need to keep Georgia blue. Walker is a loon. Hopefully Abrams gets the governor's seat as well. Go vote. Everybody go vote. If you're not voting in this election in Georgia, shame for shame. I'm going to ring a bell and parade you through the streets naked. Green Mind, like the stream. What up, Dust Buddy? Cool on you. Jason Ashby, gifted 5 Cult to Dusty memberships. What? Hero Jason Ashby, proving socialism works. You go, boy. Jason Anderson, give him hell, Dusty. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you, Jason Anderson. Rock on. Call me Sweet Pea Dusty. Can you shout me and my future husband, Andre? What's up, Andre? Call me Sweet Pea. Loves you. We love you and wish you the best. Stay lit. Oh, I can't help but to stay lit. I can't do it during the show, though. I had to wait. Mr. Anderson became a Dust Buddy. Big black Corvette. Give me $100. What? Big black Corvette. Amazing in every way. And I'm sure it's sexy, too. Say, big black Corvette. Hell yeah. Thank you, Big Black Corvette. Singing your praises. And Scott Riley and Justin Ship all got Dust Buddy memberships from Jason Ashby. So spam the chat with impunity, my darlings. And all right, more super chats, please. Going to read all the rest of the super chats at the end of the show. You know you want to do it. And we got plenty of show left, folks. Going to be a long one tonight. Hell yeah. Also, patron. You guys know how Patreon works. Please become a patron of me. I need patrons. I I don't make money off the show except from patrons and the super chats. I don't get money from the advertisements. I don't sell anything. I don't sell out or any of that stuff. So $1 a month, whatever you can afford. There's a link. Like if you click on the here's the video right here. Watch, I'll talk. And we got plenty of show left, folks. Shut the fuck up, Dusty. If you click on the more right here, you can buy my book, and also there's a link to my Patreon. Please click on it and do the things. Also, there's a link to my Amazon wish list, bring some of the animal shit if you want to watch these cute kitties. Ooh, Fat Katana. Look at Fat Katana. Yeah, Fat Katana played us a visit. She's gonna lick Daddy's arm. She's like, ooh, Daddy pet my belly. I like that. Yeah. Consider stuff of the animals and SoundCloud, all kinds of good stuff is in the description. So you should read that if you have questions about where to send things. And all right, moving right along, folks. Time for some Chud Watch. Chud Watch. Talking about Chud Watch. We talk about Chuds and then we make fun of them. Nailed it. First off, cringe. Kanye West hanging out with Candace Owens, wearing their White Lives Matter shirts, and just like Jesse Lee Peterson, it's all about attention. Kanye is so desperate to make more money. He's mentally ill. They're hoarders. They can't have enough money. It doesn't matter if he destroys his legacy. It doesn't matter if he sells out the black people who mostly are responsible for his wealth. Who cares? He needs another dollar, y'all. And he would do anything for it, anything to get his attention. He's just a cringy edgelord. So, White Lives Matter. Yeah, it's just a yawn at this point. I mean, it's just so transparent what he's doing. And he also went and gave a interview with Tucker Carlson, the most ridiculous interview. He's just so desperate. And the crazy part is, not a single person watching this interview on Fox News has any fucking clue what he's talking about. Hell, I followed Kanye's career since pretty much the very beginning, and even I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know, everybody's like, Anna Wintour's your... Let me try this again with the sound up. That would be helpful.
You know, everyone's like, Anna Wintour's your friend. I'm like, this Gabby girl and Gigi and these people, they would have never said anything negative unless they got the okay from Condé Nast, unless they got the okay from Anna.
Those are all words. None I understood, but they were words, and yeah, just ridiculous. They're only having it on there because he's finally saying something conservatives love. And here's an artist representation of Kanye West sitting down with Tucker Carlson. And yep, I pretty much nailed it. That's how I pictured it in my head also. And then apparently there was a hurricane in Florida, which seems bad. Of course, DeSantis has to get out there and lie about it. He has to play the victim and act like the news media wanted it to be bad in certain parts of Florida and people to die and stuff to make him look bad, which no, they didn't. No, like literally nobody said this. Nobody even almost said anything like this. Nobody indicated they wanted this. That we didn't hint at it. We didn't infer it, none of it. He just whole cloth making this up because he's got to paint the left as and the media as evil, and he's some kind of hero against them.
Well, look, I mean, I think part of it, quite frankly, you know, you have national regime media that they wanted to see Tampa because they thought that that'd be worse for Florida. That's how these people think. I mean, they don't care about the people of this state. They don't care about the people of this community. They want to use storms and destruction from storms as a way to advance their agenda. And they don't care what destruction's in their wake. They don't care about the lives here. If they can use it to pursue their political agenda, they will do it. And so I think
he's just projecting because no one said anything close to that. He just bullshitted. Of course, he did exactly that. He used the storm for his political agenda to attack migrants, undocumented workers who he claimed were responsible for looting. Of course, I don't believe a fucking word he said. We all know that he had to go find they weren't here illegally. They were here seeking asylum, but he had to find people from Venezuela and other countries in Texas in order to do his political stunt where he lied to them and send them to Martha's Vineyard. We know that in order to pretend like he's tough on voter fraud, that they entrapped a bunch of prisoners who they told they were eligible to vote, and then when they went to vote, they arrested them so he could pretend like he was tough on voter fraud. So probably he told his cops to go out and look for brown people to arrest and pretend like illegal aliens were the ones mainly responsible for looting, so he can fearmonger and scapegoat them like he's doing here.
We've had 4 looters that were arrested, I guess a couple days ago, and they need to be brought to justice, and we're not going to tolerate it. But you know, 3 of the 4 are illegal aliens. And so these are people that are foreigners. They're illegally in our country. And not only that, they try to loot and ransack in the aftermath of a natural disaster. I mean, they should be prosecuted, but they need to be sent back to their home country. They should not be here.
Don't believe a word he's saying, folks. This is why people go to Mexican people and say, go back to where you came from. This is just racism. They want you to hate brown people, and they want to scapegoat them because that's all they got. Fear-mongering, make you hate the others so they can get you to vote against your own best interest. But he had a little crow this week because after he shit on the Biden administration, claimed they didn't care anything about him or Florida and they wanted them to fail, Biden is Johnny on the spot, Dark Brandon rising again, went out there, instantly helped out on the hurricane calls, gave this speech while he was out there.
We're one of the few nations in the world that on a basis of a crisis we face, we're the only nation that comes out of it better than we went into it. And that's what we're going to do this time around. Come out of it better because this is the United States of America. And I emphasize united.
I emphasize united, yeah. Sit back there and chew on that, DeSantis. And even DeSantis had to eat a little crow. I love it. While he's sitting up there eating crow, praising Joe Biden behind him, rolling up his sleeves.
This general area. We were very fortunate to have good coordination with the White House and with FEMA from the very beginning of this. We declared a state of emergency last Friday, September 23rd. This was a disturbance out there by Colombia. And then the next day, we got a major disaster declaration approved by the president. And we really appreciated that. And that basically set off the massive mobilization that we had ready to be able to respond to this storm. As of now, there have been over 2,500 rescues effectuated.
Good on Joe Biden. He was responsible for it all. So almost like you're completely full of shit. Everything you said about him. Have you apologized? You haven't? Oh, I am totally shocked. And I love this photo, folks. Let's look at this body language. Yeah. There's Chad-ass Joe Biden. And there's DeSantis looking all fucking down in the dumps. I can't believe Joe Biden looks so cool. I can't believe he did everything he said he was going to do, and it's fucking awesome. I can't believe I'm all this fucking chubby, effeminate piece of shit. Speaking of which, like, what was he thinking? Look how white those boots are. Like, he ain't done nothing. Ain't got out in the mud. Ain't helped fucking nobody. This is the guy that conservatives are continuously telling us is an alpha male. Finally, a return to masculinity. We need to put in masculine alpha types into office. And he's DeSantis. He's wearing his little white boots. Hey, y'all, I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm going to be the president. Y'all like my little white boots? It's just, what the fuck? It's such a bizarro world we live in. Conservatives are just ass backwards in every way, and I love people who took the time to Photoshop these pictures and nailed it. Saying he's kind of rocking that. Finally, a DeSantis I can get on board with. Sign me up for that. Gonna break me off a piece of that. And then, folks, here's how little DeSantis actually cares about the citizens of Florida. Everything he's accusing the media of being, everything he accused Biden of being, it's just projection of himself. Watch for yourself. Good Samaritans who were voluntarily delivering hurricane relief supplies were forced to pause operations for a DeSantis photo op, just like Trump. They will literally leave people in the lurch at the most desperate times so they can look cool in his little white boots and make a photo op.
I don't give a flying no. But frustration mounted as civilians were told to pause their relief operations for several hours as Governor Ron DeSantis toured the area.
Our hands are tied. I'm not trying to be rude, but we've been doing this very thing one street over, and the only reason we're not over there
because the governor's.
That's right.
I understand.
So why does that have to stop right now? It's the same thing we've been doing before anybody was here.
All right, we're going to head back
Governor,
over
can I ask you
to
one
the,
question?
I'll get
to you. I'll get to you. All right, I'm still good.
Frustrated that they had to shut down operations because you're here. Can you just, what is your message to them? They had to pause operations, Governor, while you came in. Can you? I'm with ABC Action News. I just want you.
That's great.
Your message is.
Anyone to pause anything? I think that
Folks were stopped from going in back and forth. We have it on video. There's.
Yeah, don't believe your own eyes. Believe us instead. No, we have it on video. We saw it. But no, got his bullies up in the journalist's face because who cares about a free press? Just, we didn't do it. Don't believe your own eyes. Believe us instead. And this should be in the Beyond Parody section, but since it deals with a hurricane, here's Fox News, folks. They have nothing better to talk about. They can't cover the Herschel Walker story in any kind of realistic way, so here's the kind of stories they're drumming up. Media ignored Jill Biden's heels at hurricane site after blasting Melania Trump in 2017. Good God. This is a news organization talking about scraping the bottom of the barrel. Anything you can think of to distract. And then on the Chud Watch, did you guys hear about this one? I know we're all shocked that Matt Walsh, who is so concerned with groomers. Oh my God, all the gay people, all the drag queens, all the trans people, they're groomers. Footage got released of him when he was 25 on his radio program talking about how we should be impregnating 16-year-olds because they're at their peak fertility. Yeah, this is some shocking shit here, isn't it?
It is not. In fact, ever since the beginning of time, teenage girls have been getting pregnant. It used to be more common. The peak, ever since they started keeping records of these things, which they only started doing recently, like in the 20th century, but ever since they started keeping records, in 1957 was the peak for teenage pregnancy. 1957. Not 2009,
well, back
not
then,
today.
All of them were supposed to have kids. Like, that's when you had kids.
That's my point, okay? So to all of a sudden act like this phenomenon of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Even biologically, and this is me just stating, I'm going to start by just stating facts. So fact number one, it's not a new phenomenon. Fact number two, in fact, it's a phenomenon that was more common earlier in history. And
fact number three, rape used to be a very common way to spread your genes around. You know, you could just rape a woman, and there was no abortion or birth control back then, and they were forced to have these babies, and you wouldn't even have to take care of the baby. You wouldn't have to woo the woman. You could just rape them. Also, it's a very successful way of carrying your genes on in the animal kingdom. It's almost like the things that used to happen have been changed for a reason because we've overcome these primitive thought processes because we understand how harmful they are to young girls and our society at large.
And for, the first 6,000 to 10,000 years of human existence, it was a normal thing. Fact three, girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile. Yeah. Okay? That's biological. That's a fact, all right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. But what happened recently, and this is the fourth fact, recently in the last...
Anyway, I'm tired of hearing his voice. I think I'm going to skip over another clip of him talking about how we should have arranged marriages because arranged marriages are far more successful. But yeah, here's a view of what I assume his next documentary is going to be. What is a child? One man's trying to find the lowest age of consent. Yeah, this is Matt Walsh. You might recall in his last documentary showed a topless picture of a 15-year-old who he claimed was a girl. So, had a topless picture of a 15-year-old girl, according to him, in his documentary. Didn't get in trouble for it or anything. So yeah, these are the people that are calling the rest of us groomers. Because of course, like I point out repeatedly, their words don't mean anything. It's the exact opposite of everything they say. It's 100% projection all the fucking time with these people. Garbage humans. And yeah, there's the one he's defending. I'm going to skip all that. I don't even want to fucking talk about Matt Walsh. And did you guys hear about Velma? Finally, Velma coming out of the closet. I'm surprised Velma was even in the closet. I always thought Velma was gay. I'm shocked to learn that Velma was not supposed to be gay this whole time. I thought that her and this girl were hooking up. Were they not? I mean, I wasn't paying close attention to Scooby-Doo. But anyway, apparently they got a new Scooby-Doo movie coming out. And she gay as fuck. Let's have a look.
And
as promised, here are your Scooby snacks.
Sweet lady boner. That's her type. Ooh, she just got wet. Got that wet ass P word going on. And congratulations, Velma. I hope you you land that woman. But of course, immediately, the same people who continuously lie that the left cares about comics and cartoons and all this bullshit. Remember when Mr. Potato Head, they used to have two different products. They had Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head, but you couldn't interchange the clothing. They had different pegs on them, so you couldn't put the Mrs. Potato Head clothes on the Mr. Potato Head and vice versa. So Hasbro, who owns the company, said, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to revamp this line, and we're going to make it where when you have a Mr. Potato Head, you can put them on the Mr. Potato Head, and you can put the Mr. Potato Head on the Mr. Potato Head, and we just call the whole thing Potato Head with interchangeable clothes, and it'll be easier for us to sell to kids. And then the right said, oh my God, the left is trying to trans Mr. Potato Head. They are obsessed with this bullshit. They just lied about it, right? This is what they always do. It's actually them that is obsessed with cartoons and all this minutia that nobody should give a fuck about. They're the snowflakes, but they have to project because this is all they have. This is how they make all their fucking money. And case in point, no one on the planet cares as much about identity politics as these people. And yep, Newsmax, Velma comes out as gay in new Scooby-Doo movie. Scooby-Doo goes woke when Velma comes out as gay, says Fox News. Scooby-Doo, Velma is now a lesbian? Oh no. And then Steven Crowder complains. Steven Crowder's like, I don't care. I don't care anything about this. Why he uses his whiny voice, and he clearly really cares. Let's listen.
Okay. So look. Come on. Here's the macro. I don't care if you want to have a lesbian.
I don't care. That's why I'm using this voice and making a big deal about it. It's because of how much I don't care. I mean, I'm talking about it continuously, and I obviously care very much, but I don't care.
In character. Right. Now, there is a when you have people who are gay or lesbian, which is atypical, and by that I mean, you know, it's always been about 2% of the population. Now it's claimed to be 7% when you go LGBTQ, AAIP, and that includes queer and bisexual, but a very small percentage of the population. So it necessitates a conversation with kids. Well, hold on a second. What is that? Why is a woman making out with a woman? Why are they having a romantic relationship? Because it doesn't necessitate a sexual follow-up question if you just see a man and a woman, because that is the norm.
Right.
It does if it's atypical. Kids ask questions. So I don't think it should be ejected into kids' shows. The other thing, though, is, look, there are plenty of lesbian characters and gay characters. There's not a problem with that, right? The BBC has it as low as references available at loudwithcarter.com. 2021, they said 12% of all U.S. TV characters were LGBTQ. And I've actually spent numbers as high as 16%. Let's call it 12, 14%. It's still at least more than double, likely triple that of the pop. There are plenty of gay and lesbian characters. They're just not as popular. So if we're going to bitch about appropriation, why do you need to take a straight character and make her lesbian? Just go make your own. It's not our fault.
Why do you need to do this, folks? I mean, I don't care at all, but why? Good God. How do people listen to this whiny bullshit? The success of Steven Crowder just shows that the asteroid should be rooted for, to be honest with you. Don't look up, folks. And speaking of evil, we're complete fucking morons. Dr. Oz has a new... I guess this is not him. It's John Fetterman put out a campaign ad making fun of Dr. Oz, and it's pretty beautiful. Let's have a look at it.
Hi, everybody. Everybody. With my diet, you can eat all you want, anytime you want.
And you'll lose weight?
You might. It's a free country.
I've got the #1 miracle in a bottle to burn your fat. Lose fat without diet or exercise. Stubborn stomach fat instantly disappears.
I recommend a slow, steady gorging process combined with acid horizontology.
Garcinia cambogia extract. Crystal sonic therapy. Sea buckthorn.
Dr. Nick, this malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
Dr. Oz being sued for advice he gave to viewers who struggle falling asleep.
Dr. Oz is being accused of promoting quack treatments by some top physicians.
Are you looking for a way to slash the cost of your medical expenses?
How much did you pay for a pill that takes your body back 10 years?
Call 1-600-DOCTORB. The B is for bargain.
His empire and wealth have flourished.
The most rewarding part was when he gave me my money.
That's conservatives for you folks. Always sending these con men, these grifters, these shameless liars to the highest political body in the land. That's why we can't have nice things. Speaking of which, Donald Trump just making shit up, folks. You know what's really bad? When they teach transgender in schools. You know, all the times they teach transgender in... What is transgender? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
But no teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consult. No, nobody has to have parental...
Nobody should teach that, folks. I mean, they're not. This is something that's never happened. It doesn't even make sense, but still, I'm scared of this thing you just made up. It's just, goddamn it, that's all they have. All they have is lies. They have to make shit up because their policies are so unpopular. Hard to believe some people will fall for it. And speaking of liars, first off, CNN just played a tape of Trump talking to Maggie Haberman, in which he claims he didn't actually watch TV coverage of the January 6th. Yeah, that's his claim, that he had no idea that they were actually rioting. He had no idea how bad it was because he wasn't even watching the TVs, y'all.
But what were you doing when how did you find out that there were people storming the Capitol?
I had heard that afterwards, and actually on the late side, I was having meetings. I was also with Mark Meadows and others. I was not watching television. I didn't have the television on.
You weren't, okay.
I didn't usually have the television on. I'd have it on if there was something. I then later turned it on, and I saw what was happening. I also had confidence that the Capitol, who didn't want these 10,000 people...
The Capitol Police, you mean?
That they'd be able to control this thing, and you don't realize that, you know, they did lose control.
So this is narrative, folks. I didn't even know what was going on. I was in meetings and I'm just dumb. It's not because I was letting it happen on purpose. I just didn't know. But obvious, we know this is a fucking lie. Like, even if you didn't already know it was a lie, here is every single person that worked with him on that day that was close to him telling us that he lied.
Was the president in that private dining room the whole time that the attack on the Capitol was going on? Or did he ever go, to, again, only to your knowledge, to the Oval Office, to the White House Situation Room, anywhere else?
To the best of my recollection, he was always in the dining room.
Yeah,
That's Kayla McEnany, his press secretary, folks. That's not some right-wing person. That's not some left-wing person. That's not some rhino. That's literally his mouthpiece.
What did they say, Mr. Meadows or the president, at all, during that brief encounter that you were in the dining room? What do you recall?
I think everybody was watching the TV.
His national, that's his former VP and national security advisor saying he was watching the TV.
Do you know whether he was watching TV in the dining room when you talked to him on January 6th?
It's my understanding he was watching television.
That's his former executive assistant to the president.
When you were in the dining room in these discussions, was the violence of the Capitol visible on the screen on the television?
Yes. Right.
Yes, his former White House counsel, that's his fucking lawyer. Everybody was there. Everybody watched him sit there watching the television. He was all giddy. It was happening. He even commented that he didn't think the people were as classy as he wished they were. We know it fucking happened, so reality doesn't matter. They don't care if he lies. They're going to worship him anyway. And speaking of people that worship Trump, here's a white nationalist, Jared Taylor. And do you guys know who the most oppressed class in the entire world is? I bet you can't guess who it is.
So what's the thinking behind this? That race is a social construct? Hardly.
So he mentioned about
elimination of...
So he mentioned about a Black Little Mermaid, by the way, just to set this clip up.
So what's the thinking behind this?
I'll tell you, the thinking about this is we live in a capitalist society, and they're thinking, hey, if we create art that's a little different than we made it before, like have a black character, it might appeal to a completely different demographic. It'll appeal to not just black folks, but also other races and non-racist white folks who won't give a shit about the race, and we'll make money off of them, because that's literally the entire purpose of us existing, is to make money. That's capitalism, which of course conservatives hate.
That race is a social construct? Hardly. It's elimination of white people, even from our own history and our own fairy tales.
Our own history of mermaids? What the fuck are you talking about? You know, mermaids weren't real, right? If you want to talk about historical mermaids, then it should be manatees, because that's what they're fucking based off of. Now, if manatees want to get pissed, they can step right up and say something. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, white supremacists.
Blacks glory in a heroic, all-black fantasy past and an all-black high-tech fantasy future. If that's supposed to boost their self-esteem and make them stop shooting each other and us, it's not working. Or is it supposed to demoralize whites? Make us think we were bit players in history and have a
in the history of mermaids. That's what it was for, folks. Just to make white people think, oh, we were just bit players in the history of all the mermaid shit that went down. I'm so tired, y'all.
And have a meager future. Judging from television ads in which all the couples are now mixed race, it looks like we're supposed to miscegenate ourselves into extinction and have no future at all.
Good. Based.
Black people are posting videos of their children bursting with happiness when they see the trailer for The Little Mermaid. She's black like me.
Yeah.
What about the little white girl?
Every other show in history of mankind, you know, it's like winter. White people are going to have a White History Month. It's like literally every other fucking month. All 12 of them are White History Months. What the fuck are you talking about?
Say, Daddy, that's not Ariel. Who cares about them? They can't have their own stories.
They already have lots of movies. They could go watch those motherfucking movies. They didn't just disappear, dude.
This is all part of the sick and sickening adoration for blacks and loathing for whites we see everywhere.
Well, you're making me loathe whites, so good job. Not in the way you're thinking. And you know who's also become a real big white supremacist? Dilbert, Scott Adams, for some reason, just going mass fucking off lately. He's like, equity means less for white men. You can call it what it is. I mean, you might be right, but like your premise has to start with the fact that white men have way more than their share, and white people in general, and you're just trying to balance it out, which you're right. Thanks to our foundation of white supremacy that is the backbone of this country, white folks do have a lot more, and I guess equity does mean balancing that out, which would be a good thing. But if you're a white supremacist, I can see where you might have a problem with that, Scott Adams. And apparently they canceled his Dilbert in a lot of papers across the country, which is good because that thing was not funny. It was cringe as shit. And finishing us up, folks, you guys remember this lady, right? She has been the face of the left on right-wing media for the last couple years. Without exaggeration, this picture of this woman has made conservatives on YouTube and other media platforms probably tens of millions of dollars. Not kidding. All they have to do is put this woman's face in the thumbnail, and instantly all the chuds watching their video knows exactly what the video is going to be about. Hey, it's going to be about these whiny snowflake lefties who get triggered over nothing. They're such pissant babies. It's so easy to upset them, and it's so fun. Look how triggered she gets over everything. And she's a representative of all the left. So they see that they instantly know what the video is going to be about. It's going to be us making fun of the left and how whiny they are. What if I told you that much like everything else the right puts out, that this is actually a lie? What if I were actually to tell you that the video that this came from of her speaking is her actually being incredibly calm and polite and respectfully explaining her position to a right-wing person? What if I told you they literally just frame by frame went through the video to find this picture of her to make it look like she was somehow triggered and out of her mind? Would that surprise you? I'm sure it wouldn't. Just like every fucking thing else about the right, this too is fake. And I'm about to show you the video, folks. Here it is. Here's the triggered lefty woman, the triggered feminist that give the left a bad name and has made tens of millions of dollars for right-wing channels.
No, not even a fucking big percentage. Tiny.
How many women in the U.S.
get raped? Do you know how many?
1 in every 3
fuck
women.
ton, a fuck
that means
ton.
that all Americans
That's
are
a
victims.
that's a crisis. There's a rape crisis. Exactly.
But if you look at what a lot of the rapes that are being reported, that is not a fact.
That's it, folks. That's the video that demeans the left. That's the meme that has destroyed feminism. Has been used to launch 1 million right-wing videos. Wasn't she so out of her mind? So triggered? Didn't she make the left just look so bad right there? But it's just fake. Everything about them is fucking fake. It's all manufactured because this is all they have. They don't have any solutions to any problems. Cruelty is the point. The entire point of the right now is just to try to hurt people. And they will use any means they can to achieve those results. And they know the vast majority of the people watching their videos won't take 5 seconds to research anything for themselves. If they had the ability to research, they wouldn't be a right-wing chud. They wouldn't be watching those videos to begin with. They are so fucking easily misled. This is who they are. Yeah, so out of control, right? Her face is fucking everywhere. I wish she was making money off this. She'd be a billionaire by now. She could buy Facebook. And all right, folks. That's my Chud Watch. Hell yeah, finish strong. Get your super chats in. Gotta read them at the end of the show, folks. Support the show. But let's see what the Dirty Sexy Ports have to say. She looks like a stunner. Yeah, she was just calm and smiling. Looked completely nice to me. Like somebody I would hang out with. So yes, she's obviously the face of evil feminism. They do it all the time, I know. It's so frustrating how effective it is, though. They're just so bottom of the barrel. Low wattage bulbs, brains barely working. Lowest common denominator. Scott Adams is Joe Rogan tech support. Yeah. The poor man's Joe Rogan, and that's really saying something because Joe Rogan is the poor man's Joe Rogan. And now, folks, moving right along. About to be overtime, and who loves overtime? You love overtime. So reward me for overtime, and we have lots of more show to go. So put in the hard work to make sure this is the greatest show in the history of mankind. You're welcome. It's time for Beyond Parody. Beyond Parody! Nailed it. And first off, on tonight's parody, so remember those people I showed you before, those brainiacs, the master race, the genetic superiority of these people that was in the religious bullshit section? Well, we have more of them, folks, and these Trump supporters are convinced that Sleepy Joe is not actually a president. Let's have a look at these wackadoos.
They stole the votes. The Dominion voting machines stole the votes. And George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, paid $400 million to flip the votes. Mike the Pillow Man will tell you that.
Mike the Pillow Man told me.
So Mike Lindell says that. So that's the fact then, right?
Trump says that. Joe Biden has been dead since 2019.
Oh, okay.
James Woods, the actor, is playing Joe Biden.
I thought James Woods was a right-wing douchebag. Why is James Woods playing Joe Biden and fucking up our country? Folks, this woman's vote counts as much as yours do. In fact, if she lives in like certain parts of the country, her vote counts more than yours does. Holy shit, we're fucking doomed.
Sleepy Joe poopy pants. But the president is trying to get us back down with our economy because
so he is the president.
To go.
Yes, he never conceded. He is very much the president of the republic. Biden has been doing all his White House pictures out there in California.
You mean James Woods? You literally just said it was James Woods. Now it's Biden? You can't even make up your mind in the fucking sentence you're saying.
Yeah, Black Rock Studio with the fake green screen.
And so...
He doesn't even live in the White House. Nobody lives in the White House.
James
so
Woods?
He's in California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't accept the vote in 2020.
You can't.
I was downtown Detroit. I watched how they didn't let a lot of the Republicans in. I mean, I don't accept it. Not that I think they totally cheated, but there was some signs and proof that there was cheating going on.
What?
But do you think President Biden won the election more?
No.
I never did.
No. I mean, how could he get more votes than Obama? I mean,
well, more people were involved in voting too. You know, that has always gone up
because Trump was so unpopular. People hated him so much that it motivated people to go vote like they never have before.
Look at these rallies, okay? And you've seen Biden's rallies before he ran.
You know, I've covered politics for a long time. I've never seen anything like Trump rallies.
Right?
Even, you know, but rallies aren't votes. You know, I would
But
when
they
I
are votes because every single one of us that are here supporting him.
Yeah, it's all the same people though. It's literally like a Grateful Dead concert. There's a big group of you, but it's not that big. It's a few thousand people that go to every single event. It's the same people over and over again.
When I go to a Rush concert, I feel like everybody in the world loves Rush. And I leave the building and I realize I'm the only person who loves Rush.
Great
so
explanation.
to me, I can't judge it. In courts of law from east to west and north to south, they've said that the election was not stolen, that there weren't irregularities. Why do you remain convinced?
First of all, watch the movie 2,000 Mules. And second of all, it's so obvious that it was because you could see people going to the drop boxes on video camera and sticking a whole lot of ballots in those. And it's just very, very strange to me that here in Detroit, in the city of Detroit, somehow or another, Biden got an extra, 120,000 plus more votes to Donald J. Trump's no votes. No, there's something fishy about that.
Well, we all know about the 2020 elections and what kind of went down, and we just follow a lot of non-mainstream media to learn the real truth about what happened. So
you think that it was a stolen election?
I would say so, as what I have known so far of what I've read and researched. We know the truth. We know what...
You know it above the courts?
I'm not saying I know it above the courts personally as Wendy, but I just believe in what I believe in. And in my heart, I know who won and I know who should be in office. And
I don't have any evidence and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I just believe what I believe, so you have to respect it. No, I don't. You're a fucking moron, and I have no problem telling you that. And here's another one, folks. The Good Liars. Be sure to go subscribe to The Good Liars. They're amazing. Oh, my God. What do you even say about these people? They're so fucking weird. They think drug dealers give away free drugs. Like, I wish this were true. Even I would go trick-or-treating if I could get some free fucking drugs. But, so her story is, I'm going to play it for you. Illegal aliens came to this country, and somehow they bought houses in this country, which is amazing. We can't even have, millennials can't even afford houses in this country, but somehow they afforded houses. And also, even though they came to this country and they afforded to buy houses and stuff, they only did it because they hate the country so much they want to destroy it. So they're using these houses they bought to kill our children by passing out fentanyl to them. Like, this is just racism. That's all it is, folks.
You get a bag like this at Halloween, do not take it. It's fentanyl, it'll kill you.
Drug dealers, a lot of times, they want to sell their drugs.
Mm-hmm. Well, not if they're coming over here to destroy our country.
And then so the drug dealers have houses that the kids will come and knock on the door on, and then they'll give that to them?
I'm thinking that's how it's going to happen, yeah.
So drug dealers would be giving away...
Not drug dealers, the illegals that are here.
Yeah.
They just crossed because Biden has our border wide open.
Okay, so the illegals that have houses that then the kids are coming to knock on the illegals' houses, doors and they're drug dealers that are giving the children their drugs.
Look at Fox News. All you gotta do is watch an episode of Fox News.
And Fox News will tell you that
it's coming across our borders. It's going into our playground.
And they're going to be giving it away during Halloween.
Yes. Yeah. You get a bag like this.
Yes, of course. I mean, illegal aliens. I mean, they're coming all the way over here, and the only reason they're coming over here is to destroy our country. I mean, that's a lot of effort, man. They must be super evil. You know how evil you'd have to be to travel across the fucking desert, sneak into the country, buy a house, get fentanyl, go through all this trouble for no other reason than you just want to destroy the country? It's just racism, folks. This is the Donald Trump brand of racism. White supremacy, I would say 2.0, but it's like, what, 1,000,000.0 at this point? And another example of it, folks. Trying to shit on Halloween, because why not? Attention, satanic socialist. Here's a sign that's on some chud-ass screen door. This is the home of a patriotic Christian family. We work hard, underlined, and pay taxes, underlined. We do not, underlined, celebrate Satan's Day. Why are just some words randomly underlined? We do not give away free candy to lazy, entitled freeloaders. Yeah, you fucking freeloader children. We don't even feed our kids because fuck them. No handouts. Welcome to America. Yeah, way to make America look really good. If you get candy, if you want candy, get a job and find Jesus. Will Jesus give me candy? Better yet, will Jesus give me fentanyl? That's what I really want. Point me to those houses. And then, I love the good liars trolling people. This woman thinks that they're describing a drag show, but they're really describing a Trump rally. And I'm almost certain that they're watching my show because I've literally made this exact same point in the exact same way that he did here. So, hello, good liars. Thank you for watching.
You're seeing kids that are going to see men dressed in makeup with their hair done up, all like dyed different colors, put in kind of weird shapes, doing like kind of weird dances on stage. Would you ever take your son to something like that?
Oh, absolutely not. No, it's inappropriate.
So you guys are heading into the Trump rally right now, right?
Yep.
That's right. Trump covered from head to toe in makeup with this silly fake hairdo. But if it was a drag queen, oh my God, he's grooming kids. It's just so stupid. And hypocrisy, those name is conservatism, no self-awareness whatsoever. Look at this peak physical specimen alpha male.
School systems are in shambles, the crap they're teaching the kids today.
What are they saying to the kids? What are they teaching them?
Well, I'm sure if you look online, there's just all kind of inappropriate stuff that's...
He has no clue, folks. They have no idea what they're talking about. Just look it up. Do your research. But we did, and it doesn't exist. This is why you're not naming anything. Because you've just been fear-mongered and you believe anything you've been told, and they haven't given you any specifics because there is no specifics. And also your brain doesn't work very well, so you can't remember what you heard just 5 minutes ago. So you're just spouting out nonsense. But please continue.
Kind of inappropriate stuff that's being taught to the children. That
you wouldn't want kids seeing anything inappropriate?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Are you worried going into the rally that kids might see this and wonder what that means, the blowjobs?
It's possible.
Right.
It's possible, but I don't actually give a fuck because nothing I say means anything. There's no reason to argue with them. There's no reason to listen to their words. It's all nonsense. And Boebert out there keeping it classy. Congresswoman Boebert out there with this very strange body type on this older gentleman. And he's wearing a shirt that says, I was going to be a liberal for Halloween, but my head wouldn't fit up my ass. But I mean, your ass does look quite narrow. You got that Hank Hill ass, which is really nothing. And you got a really big upper torso. So I don't know, maybe do some squats and it would fit there, Grandpa. Keep it classy, yo. And last up on Beyond Parody, folks, I'm glad the alpha males are finally standing up for themselves. And there is no bigger alpha male than this gentleman, another peak physical specimen, genetics of the likes of which we have never seen. And he ain't shying away from his comments about alpha males being needed by our society.
G'day guys, Nick Adams here. I know that my tweeting about alpha males has caused quite the stir.
You mean people making fun of you? Yes, that definitely happened.
Here's what I want you to know.
Okay.
I do not back down at all from anything that I have been tweeting about alpha males.
Okay, so you really love alpha males, so like you service them or something? Because you're definitely not an alpha male. There's nothing about you that's alpha. You're just a doughy, chinless fuck. So like you're their lover or something, I'm assuming?
And white, straight, Christian men being the most persecuted group in the United States.
Okay, you can't claim you're alpha male and then bitch that white straight men are the most persecuted people on the planet. You can't be a whiny piss baby just making up a persecution complex and then somehow claim that you're super manly alpha that stands up for yourself and doesn't take any shit. Those two things do not mesh together, dude.
Of America and indeed Western civilization. They are the facts, no matter how uncomfortable they are to beta males, feminists, and all of the rest of these elites that want to transform.
Dude, I'm as lefty as it gets, and you make me look like the fucking Rock. Holy shit. These alpha males make me feel so manly in comparison, to be honest with you.
The world that we live in. Not only do I not resile from what I have tweeted, I am doubling down on it.
Oh, I'm sure you
because
are.
Because the truth is
like
that the Roman Empire fell in part because of beta males. The truth is that America is not fulfilling her full potential because of beta males. Oh, no. And we stand at the precipice of...
So you're responsible? Because clearly if beta male's the problem, oh, dude, look in the mirror.
Losing everything because of weak, effeminate men. That's the reality. Dude, we need more male leaders like Donald Trump, like Greg Norman.
Yeah, the alpha males like Donald Trump, another incredibly doughy, fat, white guy covered from head to tail in makeup. Just holy shit.
Like Tom Brady, like
Tom Brady.
Those people that you know exactly who I'm talking about. What we don't need are feminine men. We want men to be men and we want women to be women.
You got boobs!
And I am sick and tired of being lectured to by men who take instructions from their wives, yet secretly wish they could have the sex life of Bill Clinton in the late 80s and early 90s. I am sick and tired of white feminist liberals, the most racist people you'll ever find, by the way, deliberately undermining society and hating any discussion, not tolerating any discussion on alpha males purely and solely because it disrupts the nice little world that they have going.
How insecure do you have to be to believe you're an alpha male? And like, no alpha male has ever told anybody they're an alpha male. It just doesn't work like that. If you tell somebody you're an alpha male, immediately disqualified, kicked out of the alpha male club.
Where they rule the roost, men have got nothing to say, men are shamed, and yet women can do whatever they like to do.
I have like literally never felt like anybody was shutting me up or shaming me, dude. Maybe that's because I'm an alpha male or something and you're not.
Alpha male.
Of course, I just call myself an alpha male, which means, by my own logic, I am not an alpha male. I'm a sigma male, and I'm a ligma male. That's what I am.
Males are what we need in the United States of America. It's what's going to get us out of the malaise that we're in, and it's what every single person should get behind without a shadow of a doubt. Everything is linked to alpha males.
Oh, definitely.
Everything. The lack of discipline in today's society is because of beta males.
Totally.
People responding to a telephone call with a text saying, "What are you talking about?" Or "What did you want to speak about?" That's a beta male. The lack of common courtesy. All of those things are related.
Wait a minute.
To the fact that we don't...
Not answering your phone and texting and stuff is a sign of beta males? Okay.
Have strong men anymore. The influence of strong men has waned. And as a result, we are losing our cultural and societal norms, and it is a big problem. So
I guess the people are listening to you, and you must be the cause of the problem, right? Because you're definitely not alpha in any goddamn way. And all right, folks, that is my Beyond Parody, and that dude was definitely Beyond Parody. What you guys gotta say? LOL, definitely, Beetle Mills. Belly up! Yep, I wish, hopefully. Oh my god, he's still talking. He got a cool accent it, though. At least I give him that. Sounds like you hate anybody who is not themselves. I know, right? I dare you be who you want to be. You gotta be this toxic masculine image that I invented. And folks, moving right along. It's time for Heroes.
We could be heroes just for one day.
Hell yeah, we could. How about 2 days? Let's be heroes for 2 days. And speaking of heroes, Dark Brandon. Oh, finally. Dude is making me like him, and I am here for it. Biden pardons thousands of people convicted of marijuana possession, orders review of federal pot laws. President Joe Biden pardoned all of those convicted on prior federal charges or convicted in the District of Columbia of simple marijuana possession. Biden called on governors to follow suit and pardon those convicted on similar state charges. He has also instructed Secretary of Health and Human Services Xavier Becerra and Attorney General Merrick Garland to begin reviewing how marijuana is classified under federal drug laws. Holy shit, this is big, folks. This is hero shit right here. Biden getting the job done, pulled us out of Afghanistan, freeing marijuana prisoners. And I agree with Midas Touch here. President Biden pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession may just be the single most transformative, morally right, politically smart use of the pardon power in history. It's impossible to overstate just how massive this news is. And finally, I'm on board with pardoning. This should have been done so long ago. These people should not even be in jail to begin with. Thank you, Joe Biden. Finally got some decent leadership in there. Something not to be embarrassed about. But of course, the Chuds are out there trying to make it seem like this is a bad thing. Because everything he does has to be shit upon, no matter how good it is, no matter how obviously beneficial it is to our society. Fox News is like,
well, it starts with marijuana, but where does it go from there? Oregon was the first state to decriminalize it. Then they legalized it for recreational use. And then a few years later, they decriminalized hard drugs, cocaine, heroin, LSD, and even meth. How things look.
That's right, folks. Joe Biden gonna legalize meth. We gotta fearmonger and shit on it. But no, marijuana is not a gateway drug. Like I've said many times before, you know what is a gateway drug? Lying about marijuana. Telling people marijuana is so horrible. Having this reefer madness and narrative about marijuana, and then people smoke marijuana and they realize, oh my God, you lied to me about it. What else did you lie to me about? And they go try other drugs that are much harder and much more dangerous because they don't believe you anymore. That's what the fucking gateway is. Way to cause the problem and then bitch about it. That's what conservatives always fucking do. And here they are, CNN.
I think this will be very impactful for Joe Biden and Democrats in terms of winning over a large portion of the voter electorate that thinks this is an important issue. There are a lot of Democrats, and 3/4 of Americans think that we should legalize marijuana. So that is something, certainly a factor in him making this decision.
Yes.
I see this as
amazing how politicians do things that people like so they get votes. Curious.
Ploy to, in midterms, to gain support and gain voters. I happen to think that marijuana is a gateway drug. I'm not a big advocate for legalizing marijuana. Maybe
not,
for
bitch.
medicinal purposes, but not as a whole. Why are you looking at me? No, I'm saying as a whole. But here's the thing. Part of his announcement was to also advocate to governors do the same at the state level. That's not happening. I reached out to Governor Asa Hutchinson's office in Arkansas. They don't like this. He sees this as waving the red flag of surrender to protecting the lives of those who are victims of drug abuse.
What the fuck? Marijuana has never killed one person ever. It's a plant that makes you happy and hungry when you eat it. Oh my God. Of course, they're not for doing the right thing. Of course, they're for continuing to put non-violent offenders in prison where you can use them for slave labor and charge the taxpayers large sums of money for fucking nothing. Of course, they're for continuing the military police force and their dystopian drug war. Of course, they're for continuing all that. You're the fucking bad guys. No shit. We already knew. And of course, Hannity, Hail Mary Jane, they're freaking out. And anytime Fox News freaks out about something, anytime you upset the Chuds, you know you're probably doing something right, folks. So, way to go there, Brandon. Curiously, though, these same people didn't have any problem when Donald Trump pardoned 13 different people convicted of serious drug trafficking. Tom Cotton is like, in the midst of crime wave and on the brink of recession, Joe Biden is giving blanket pardons to drug offenders, many of whom pled down from more serious charges. This is a desperate attempt to distract from failed leadership. Yeah, Trump literally pardoning hardcore drug dealers because they gave him bunches of money. Crickets, you had nothing to fucking say about it. You fucking weasel. Just ain't about shit, dude. And then next up, once again, Pete Buttigieg made the heroes list. And man, Pete Buttigieg killing it on Fox News. I normally don't think you should go on Fox News unless you're a hero like Pete Buttigieg, who has his fucking shit together, commenting on Marjorie Taylor Greene's completely nonsensible comments that somehow the type of fuel in your car determines your level of masculinity. Doesn't make any fucking sense, but literally nothing conservatives say does.
Well, you've been pushing for this. You've been very consistent with that. But Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgia Republican at a rally in Michigan, said this past weekend that Mr. Buttigieg is trying to emasculate the way we drive by, as she goes on to explain, by supporting environmentally friendly transportation. But what did you think of her wording?
I literally don't even understand what that means. I mean, my sense of manhood is not connected to whether my vehicle is fueled by gasoline or whether it's fueled by electricity. This is a practical matter.
Were you offended by that, sir? Because even people who, you know, share her politics didn't share that view.
It was a strange thing to say. You know, to be honest, there are other members of Congress that I pay more attention to when I'm thinking about opinions that really matter or ideas that are going to be critical to engage with. I do think we need to zoom out a little bit, and I know people want to make this ideological, they want to make it political. We're talking about something like electric vehicles. We're talking again about a very practical matter, which is how we get from point A to point B. And if industry and the world are moving in a direction that adopts a new technology, you know, the real question is, are we going to let China lead that, or are we going to lead it here in the United States of America?
It's just nonsense, though. Like I continuously say, they have no policy positions that are popular. So they just have to distract people with just utter bullshit. Just mind-boggling gobbledygook, but she's the most popular member of Congress for conservatives. This is what they are. This is what they push for. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not supposed to. It's just supposed to be red meat for the zombies who don't have the ability to think beyond their own nose, basically. And last off on the heroes list, Bill Burr, who I enjoy. You know what I like about Bill Burr? He's pretty funny as a comedian, but he's actually a really good actor. Very underrated as an actor, in my opinion, Bill Burr. Anyway, some of his Chud-ass fans have been shitting on him for coming out in favor of socialism. And he gave a real long speech about it, but here's a very short clip where he owns them.
Socialism. Hi, Bill, you redheaded fuck. I really appreciate the bluntness of that. How are you? Last week you mentioned you don't know why people demonize socialism. I was really taken aback at that statement. Oh, Jesus Christ. Every country that has tried socialism has failed, and it's responsible for tens of millions of deaths. All right, so would you say capitalism is working? And it is not, you know, when like, what is it, like 99% of the wealth is in like fucking 2% of the people's hands? All of these tent cities, you're telling me this is working? You don't think capitalism is responsible for tens of millions of deaths? Anyway, Russia, Germany, China, Cuba, and most recently Venezuela have tried, or right now are socialist countries. As far as I know, whatever Cuba was trying to do, we prevented them from doing with a fucking embargo or whatever the hell we did. We've been fucking with them for 60 years. So I think you're looking at, like, you know, like what a lot of people do is you look at your own country through rose-colored glasses, the same way you look at your own sports team like, oh, my team doesn't cheat, but your team does.
Yep, patriotism is just a pep rally where you cheer for the school that you're going to simply because you go there. And Bill Burr nailed it. And somebody says he's a shit actor. What? Have you ever seen The Mandalorian? Man, he He ate that role. As the kids are saying these days, ate is a good thing, I learned. So he ate that role, in my opinion. Best part about the Mandalorian. All right, folks, last chance to get your super chats. We got one more quick section. Gonna do a little slow news week. Finish this bitch off. Let's do it. Slow news week with Dustin Smith. Nailed it. Yeah, I know. Cats even agree with that one. I hurt my throat a little bit for that one. Sorry. And first off, can't be the only way to talk. And first off, on the slow news with Dustin Smith. Yeehaw! Oh my God, that killed my voice. This video went super viral of this husband getting caught cheating by his wife in a restaurant, and it's super awkward. Let's have a look at it.
Hey.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
What's going on? Having dinner. What's going on? Having dinner. What
She's
are you?
cute.
I'm a friend.
I'm a friend. No wonder he's cheating.
A work friend? Or yes, I'm a friend. Okay, well I'm his wife. So what kind of friend are you?
Yeah, what kind of friend are you?
We work together.
Mm-hmm. You could do better, girl. You must be rich.
You know our kids tonight? We were planning on having you over tonight. You guys are back at the LA area.
She said I have kids.
3 hours from
You're nasty. All that kind of shit. She's looking at him like, awkward. Super awkward. And he's like, oh, let's go talk about it with this doughy ass. Girl, you can do better. Call me. And last one. One more for tonight, folks. On the slow news, that's me. Yeah. The heart wants what it wants, and I'm sure that they just trained these chickens and roosters to behave this way, but they trained them good. This is cute as fuck. So first off, they take their rooster, they put him in a box. What's in the box? It's a rooster. And then they put little sticks or whatever to close the box up. They got him all up in there, dude. He trapped real good. And then they got his bitch, and she ride or die. And she's like, what? What'd you do with my man? Oh no, you didn't. And so she takes them and she takes the strings out or where the fuck they are and jumps up there. And she's like, I'm gonna take these out too. I know how to get my man. And it gets rid of them. And this part's not impressive. I mean, this is sort of impressive, but this is not the actual cute part. The ending is actually really good. I don't know how they got him to do this at the end. And then the rooster's like, I'm free! And then the rooster jumps up there and she's like, hell yeah, I got my man's back. And then she puts her arm around her man's after she rescued him. Holy shit. That's some cute motherfucking shit right there. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if they trained them or not, but that was cool. I enjoyed that. And all right, folks, that's my show. Another amazing episode of the Dusty Smith Show. Appreciate you. What is this one? Do I have one more? Oh, folks, I have one more. One more. Don't go anywhere. I have one more, folks. I forgot about this one. So, other day, I'm surfing 4chan because they have the best porn. Don't judge me. I judge you for not watching 4chan porn. Anyway, they had a thread about, apparently there's this new TikTok challenge where women show how ugly they are and then how beautiful they are after they put on makeup. I guess they show how much they can fool a man by just completely changing the way they look. And so I guess some guy took the videos from that 4chan thread and put them all together. And it's 3 minutes and 42 seconds long. I'm going to watch some of it, but this is amazing, folks, to me. Holy shit. Makeup is a lie. So this is the starting point. She ain't got no teeth. That's what she turned into. Look at this shit. Let's try this again. So she ain't got no teeth. She on the older side of it. She's a little bit haggard. And then boom, makeup's a lie. This is some fucking bullshit. And at first I was like, these aren't even the same people. But they show them step by step doing it. It's them. She got a little mustache going on. And what the fuck? Oh my God. And then boom. Oh, what the? Oh my God. Like, I'm not even dating anymore. You never know what the fuck you're going to get anymore. You got the hottest girl you ever seen. And then 2 weeks later, it's just embarrassing. Oh God, her teeth are yellow and just all kinds of problems. Man, the internet just done taught women too much. They too powerful now. What is she doing? And oh my God, she look like a movie star. How is this? And there she's de-transitioning or whatever. She's taking it all off. False advertising, I know. It's weird. She's gonna pull out, she's gonna do it slowly, and she takes it all off and shows it's her. And this woman, she's like, ooh, oh my God, I'm hideous. And then the next thing you know, she gonna be hot. Watch her. Although she already looks okay. She looks okay to begin with. Oh my God. Now these have makeup on look bad to begin with. So they're purposely trying to make themselves look worse. But ooh, hello. That's weird. And that looks like some heavy fucking filters. Oh my, what the fuck? What is happening? And she cute anyway. Got that little diantrid look. I thought she looked better before a little bit, to be honest with you. I kind of like that natural look. And this, glow up. What? That one's stuffing shit in her fucking nose. They got duct tape all over themselves. Fake eyes. What the hell is happening, y'all? And this woman again. All right, let's skip to the end. Let's see the big finish. Oh my God. That's just the nuttiest shit, yo. I'm done dating forever. I'm not even interested. I'm just gonna masturbate and stay by myself for the rest of my fucking life. Fuck all this bullshit. I am done. I am done, women. You broke me. You broke me. And all right, folks, that is it. That is my show. What do you guys think about that? I'll take 2, please. Black, I need to bleach my eyes. I know, right? That's a lie. Cake is a lie. Give them chickens an Oscar. I know, those are good actors. Fine acting on the chickens part. I would just like a woman for what she is, no matter what happens to her. Well, that's unconditional and good of you. I'm not that decent of a human being. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Chidi Okoro. Hope you had a good one. At least you're spending it correctly with the greatest show in the history of mankind. Kitty party. Hey, we already had the cats enough on the show, I think. They've been in the background. I've been petting the fuck out of them everywhere. They've already made plenty of appearances. So let me finish off reading the super chats. Please hit the like button before you guys go. I would appreciate it. Blaze it says heavy chat. I will heavy chat as soon as the show's over. Good to see you tonight. Sitting in Rose. I felt enraged at cops' judges when I watched Netflix Dahmer, who let him off the hook over and over. You had a little 14-year-old boy bleeding, drugged up, just gave him back to Jeffrey Dahmer. And they actually promoted that guy that did that. He's like the chief of police now, just the crazy. Of course he is. And notice the police community, yeah, they don't care because he was gay, right? Racism and homophobia, just like you said. He used gay language to discuss them, so they wanted to keep him at an arm's distance. Pillowman said that I should give you this money. Hell yeah, Pillowman should talk to you more often. But James Wood told me to give it to you twice. Respect Poopy Pants. Oh, I love both Pillowman and James Woods now. Scott Adams has been a pretty horrible person for decades. Agreed. Not funny either. Oh, wait, Jared Taylor thinks white couples are around only since 1950. It's new, yo. At least they just recently stopped killing them. Thank you, Ben Davis and Deadpool. Jello Faro, $2. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Good to see you tonight. Ben Davis, hey there, Dusty. Florida is going to need immigrants to fix the damage. Yeah, we need immigrants to raise all the old people that are not fucking right now or having kids, like myself. Please, please, more immigration. Love you, Dusty. Vote for federal marijuana legalization. Oh, I will if they give me a choice. I'll definitely vote for that. Thank you, Vincenzo. Justin Ship. All right, I already read all those. Cool. Looking forward to all the Velma / fiction that already exists. You know, it's already existed forever, but yeah, sexy. Can't wait for that. And see what I've been watching on the television. This is usually where I talk to you guys about what I've been fucking watching. And nothing real good been on lately. I tried to watch that Vesper movie. It did a good job of world building, but I just, it didn't take. Hadn't watched the rest of this shit yet. So I'm behind on everything. Sorry. Actually, to be honest with you guys, I went back and played the New World again. I know I said I was quitting New World, but I'm addicted, apparently. Apparently, game addiction is a thing. I don't know. And you guys know what happened? Remember, I've been bitching about how bad I am and how the kids have been just fucking owning me and how worthless I feel as a human being because all of my self-esteem is wrapped up in this video game for some reason because I'm sad and pathetic. Well, guys, I actually finished first the other day. I've never done that before. I fucking finished first out of everybody, and then I finished second a couple of times. So I'm good again somehow. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but I'm amazing at the game. So I'm playing it again. That's the moral of that story. And all right, quick, very quick. Q&A for Dusty Smith. What you guys got to say to me? You're the voice of reason to see a chaos. MJ, hey, I do my best. The ratings should be higher, but I'm tired of. I'm sorry that I bitched about the ratings. I know that's unattractive. It's like being thirsty. The more thirsty you are, the less likely you are to get a drink of water. The more you bitch about that kind of stuff, the less likely it is to happen. So you just I gotta shut the fuck up about doing that. To be honest with you, I'm embarrassed. Thanks, mods and Cult of Dusty and Filthy Pores. Hell yeah, the mods are the best. Love you guys. Hope you're enjoying the new truck. I love my new truck. For those of you, I didn't say this before, my truck was not expensive. I only paid $6,000 for my truck. So somebody told me that I should not talk about the things I buy because it makes people less likely to donate to the show. But I mean, it's a 20-year-old truck. I'm driving a 20-year-old truck. I live in a 100-year-old house. I mean, it's like I'm going out there buying a bunch of fancy shit or spending a bunch of money. I do live really poorly, so most of the money goes to the animals and shit. Love you, Dusty. Love you, John Pelosi. Good news tonight. I'm with you, Dusty. She was cuter before natural in my preference, too. Yeah, usually it's better. Sometimes it's just way worse, though, depending on the woman. Congrats. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Please follow Pierre Bolivier, a crypto bro chud who runs the Conservative Party in Canada now. Why would I follow that person? He sounds terrible. Any TV recommendations? I don't even know what the fuck I've been watching. Let me see here. These are the programs that I have legally purchased recently. I did worry there was porn on here, but I don't actually download porn because it's available for free on the internet. Hell's Kitchen I didn't watch. Atlanta, the new season's not been too good. Dark Side of Comedy's been okay. Kind of tells you the stories behind the scenes of problems comedians have had. The Connors and Shark Tank suck. Quantum Leap, the new season, is nothing. There's been nothing on. Reboot is okay. Reboot is like a new comedy show with Key or Peele, one of them. I can't remember which it is. I think it's Key. I think Peele is one that does the horror movies. I think it's Key. He's on that show. Yeah, I've been watching just garbage, to be honest with you. Nothing that's worth even mentioning. I watched that movie, The Greatest Beer Run. It was terrible. Dead for a Dollar. It has William Dafoe in it. It has some famous actors in it. I like westerns, and this is an unwatchable movie. I can't believe they made it. It's so fucking terrible. Yeah, nothing. I got no recommendations. Ted Lasso was good, but that's old. Pierre Pelever will give you a lot of hours of content. All right, well, send me the best clips from Cult of Dusty 1, Cult of Dusty 1, Cult of Dusty 1, which is my Twitter feed. Do that. To mock him. All right, cool. The door handle on my not Ford Ranger broke today. Well, that sucks. That's not what you want. I know you live humbly. I do. I live meagerly. I don't know how humble I am. I mean, I am one of the best looking people that ever lived and one of the smartest and sexiest and sweetest. Got a great voice. I'm good to animals. Love my mama. I don't know. So, yeah, I am pretty humble, I guess. I like William Dafoe. Yeah, William Dafoe is awesome. Big dick dude, from what I hear. But bad movie. Do you have a girlfriend or are you married? No, I do not have a girlfriend and I am not married. I am a new watcher. I did have somebody live with me for a while. I had a young lady live with me for a long while, but she does not currently live with me anymore. And I don't give a shit. I just want to be left alone and play my video game. I don't really care too much about women. I mean, I guess if the right woman came along, but just to be honest, the type of woman that it would take to interest me is the type of woman that I am no longer capable of landing. So I'm pretty much fucked, to be honest with you. My standards are too high for my ability. So I'm just not interested that much, to be honest. It's a lot of hassle. Dating's a nightmare. Love you, Tom Jones. Good to see you. All right, folks. That's my time. Hope you enjoyed it on the greatest show and the most homo show in the history of mankind. I'll be back on Monday, only 3 days away. We'll have another amazing episode of the greatest show for you guys then. So you guys have a good weekend. Do something fun to think about me. I love you. And as always, till next time, Logic, fuck yes! And let's go play some SoundCloud. And I only got like 3 fucking songs. I need to make more music. Oh, I know how to play. I play Wobble Wobble. Somebody requested more Wobble Wobble. They're like, Wobble Wobble's good. Why don't you play Wobble Wobble more often? So I got to type it in. If you type in Wobble Wobble, Dusty Smith, you'll find this video of Wobble Wobble. Good night, everybody. I love you. Boom. Ba-boom. Boom. Do